Baseball is back at White House Field in Harwich. This time, it's the Mariners playing host to the Falmouth Commodores for the second time this season. Meeting number 3 between these inter-division opponents. Falmouth, the lone team in the Cape Cod Baseball League that is yet to beat the Harwich Mariners. 2-0 so far. Steve Englert and company. Welcome in to White House Field alongside Carson Trail. I'm Skylar Wilkes. Thanks so much for joining us on this picture-perfect day for baseball on this Friday evening. We mentioned that this is meeting number 3 between Harwich and Falmouth. Carson, the past two, first one at Gov Fuller Field, a 10-8 offensive slugfest where Harwich came back from a big deficit, grand slam from Ryan Weingartner as well. The second one, though, was a bit closer, 4-1. Either way, the first two matchups have been certainly entertaining.
Yeah, that first game, one of the marquee victories of the year for the Mariners, if not the one that they've hung their head on over the course of this season. They were down 5-1 for the majority of the game, but then stormed back behind a Ryan Weingartner grand slam in the 7th inning at Gov Fuller Field. They ended up staving off a couple of late rallies from the Doors, taking game 1 10-8, and then Hayden LeFew dominated in game 2, his best outing as a Mariner. The lefty punched 8 tickets, allowing 1 walk, beating, he hit 4 men, but it was still excellent from the lefty out of Wake Forest. 8 strikeouts and 1 strike shy of an immaculate inning. So that is certainly the highlight of his year. And the Mariners have really played balanced baseball against the Commodores in the first 2 matchups.
Two teams that haven't had the most success this season doesn't mean that there isn't talent on each side. Looking at Jeff Trundy's squad first, Carson, who's a player that stands out the most to you?
Well, Gavin Turley, average only at .250, but a couple of hits yesterday. Center fielder today for the Commodores. Typically in the corner outfield spots at Oregon State. One-time freshman of the year in the Pac-12 conference. He's got so much pop after converting from being a third baseman to a corner outfielder. He is a professional hitter, and I think that Jeff Trundy is going to look to get a little bit more out of him down the stretch.
And looking over at the Harwich side, who's another player that could possibly shine through tonight against the Commodores?
Well, Cam Maldonado is a good place to start. One of the anchors in the lineup, despite the rest of Harwich's struggles on offense. He's hit in 8 straight games. He's got a lot of speed, and he's somebody to make you really work on defense. Putting the ball on the ground, he doesn't need to hit the ball hard to leg out a base hit, and he's got the power to where he's a true 5-tool guy in that second spot of the lineup.
Well, the man tasked with stopping Maldonado is the young righty M.J. Seo, rising sophomore, spent his freshman year at LSU, although didn't appear in a single game. So he's currently in the portal, making his second appearance of the season with the Commodores after suffering the loss in the third of an inning on Tuesday against Chatham. Appeared in 6 games with 2 separate teams in the Northwoods League, the St. Cloud Rocks and the Rockford Rivets. So big spot today here for Seo on the mound against a Harwich team that certainly has some guys that can hit the baseball. But for Steve Englert's crew, there's a little bit more experience on the bump.
Yeah, it's the ace, Ryan DeSanto, the team leader in ERA among qualified pitchers. He's making his 5th start of the year after only lasting 2 innings against Hyannis a couple of weeks ago on July 9th. He threw 2 innings, allowing 6 earned runs on 6 hits, and his fastball was down a couple of ticks. I think we'll see him bounce back tonight. He's certainly got the stuff and the command of his secondary pitches to keep any team off balance.
You look at the last 2 games, both losses, outscored a combined 12-1 for Harwich. What's the key to turning things around?
Offense. Shut out that first game to Brewster, only getting 2 hits, and the Whitecaps pitching staff only faced 2 over the minimum. And then YD, the only ball that turned into a run was a solo shot, and even that would not have cleared the wall in any other ballpark. So I think it's about making hard contact, and it's only a matter of time before the hits fall after that.
We're about to find out, minutes away from it, finding out if those hits will continue. But first, we step aside for the national anthem.
When you need to be seen for a minor illness or injury, Cape Cod Healthcare Urgent Care is here for you with high-quality, full-service walk-in care. ER expertise meets urgent care convenience at our 6 urgent care centers. which are staffed by board-certified ER providers and located Cape-wide from Falmouth to Orleans. Cape Cod Healthcare Urgent Care is open daily and offers a cost-saving option for everything from sprains to stitches, with timely treatment in under an hour for most patients. View online wait times at capecodhealth.org/urgent-care. Cape Cod Healthcare Urgent Care. Minor emergencies, major attention.
Just about ready to go from White House Field between the Mariners and the Commodores. But first, we take you through the lineup that Jeff Trundy has out on the field for him. Leading off is the shortstop, Gavin Keelan, followed by center fielder, Gavin Turley. And at third is DH, Dylan Carey. Cleanup spot, third baseman, Trent Caraway, followed by right fielder, Jason Jones, and catcher, Scott Mudler. Batting seventh, first baseman, Isaiah Barquette. Batting eighth, left fielder Donovan LaSalle, and rounding out the lineup is second baseman Jack Bell. Mentioned MJ Seo on the bump for the Commodores. We'll talk a little bit more about him when he is on the mound, but first, it's Ryan DeSanto, the southpaw, rising junior transferring from St. Joe's to Penn State, in for his fifth appearance of the season, fifth start, and really looking to bounce back from his last outing on the 9th against Hyannis. You mentioned it a little bit, Carson. 2 innings, gave up 6 runs on 6 hits with a walk and 2 strikeouts to suffer the loss. He's now up to 1-2 on the year with a 4.24 ERA, but there have been some really strong outings from DeSanto.
Yeah, he had a perfect start to his Cape League season. 4 perfect innings against YD in his first outing. So he's really got the kind of stuff, and he walks so few hitters. He's so good at filling up the zone, making hitters make contact with this stuff and keeping them off the barrel. That's really what makes him special, what makes him unique, and I think that last outing against Hyannis, an anomaly.
Starting pitching has not always been a plus this year for the Mariners, but it certainly was yesterday. Despite the loss suffered by Donovan Burke, really strong outing. Going 5 innings, giving up just 2 runs on 5 hits with 4 strikeouts and no walks. DeSanto, another southpaw, could potentially be, due to innings limit, his final start with the Mariners, so definitely wants to go out on a high note before he takes his talent to the Big Ten.
Yeah, coming up on that innings limit, he's one of many Cape League pitchers who might have done so well that the new school is like, well, you should save some innings for us. And so I think that we're going to see, R.J. Thomas and Steve Englert be as economical as they are with any starter. And I think that this is a day where they have their ace going in a game that they need to win.
Harwich sporting the red jerseys for just the 3rd time this season, which is worn by every home team on the Cape every Friday. Got the cream pants, though, to match with the camouflage hats. For Falmouth, it's the road black jerseys with the maroon letters, white trim that says Falmouth across the front, with the light gray pants, matte black helmets. The defense for Steve Englert behind DeSanto. First base is Luke Heyman, with Danny Dickinson at second, Ryan Weingartner at short, and Jake Ogden at third. In the outfield, in left, it's Vince Vittori, center Matt Scannell, and right is Cam Maldonado with Macon Winslow. Doing the catching, played left field yesterday against YD, and now back behind the plate, a position that he has really improved upon as the summer's progressed.
And help is on the way for the Mariners, too. Winslow behind the plate, playing for the 3rd consecutive day. First time this year that he's done that. And I think a lot of The mixing and matching that Steve Engler has done has been due to the struggles of Michael Anderson at first base. Luke Heyman back over at first after catching yesterday. But help has arrived. Wilson Weber likely to make his debut tomorrow. He'll provide a reprieve if necessary for Winslow and the rest of the Mariners catching core.
So Ryan DeSanto just about ready to go with the left-handed shortstop Gavin Keelan in the box. First pitch popped up in the air, heading towards the left side. Third base Jake Ogden calls it off, tracking it a little, and he finds it in his glove. So one pitch, one out to start the ball game, as easy as it comes for Ryan DeSanto.
Easy ball hit in the air, keeping it simple for Ryan DeSanto. Guy who works quickly already with a quick first out.
Now into the right-handed batter's box is another Gavin Turley, who you heard Carson speak highly of, rising junior at Oregon State, hitting .250 so far for Falmouth through 14 games. Initial offer from DeSanto. Nails the inside corner. Called strike by home plate umpire Marvick Gomez, who's joined by Mike Hinojosa at first and Josh Garcia at third. 0-1 to Turley with one out. The pitch is down, scoffs the dirt. 1-1. Turley broke the shutout for Falmouth last time out here at White House Field. Drove home a run with a single, then tried to push it to two. Got tagged out, and that ended the ball game. So kind of anticlimactic, a near comeback from the Commodores. 1-1. Turley smacks it foul high in the air on the first base side, falls behind 1-2. But Turley, despite that rough ending, you talked about it, Carson, a whole lot of potential in this player.
Yeah, a true five-tool guy. Testament to his athleticism. Recruited as a third baseman out of high school, one of the highly touted prospects of his state of Arizona.
1-2. Smacked foul again. Turley stays alive, remaining 1-2.
And it supports how effective he's been on offense. The fact that Mitch Canham at Oregon State has really found a spot for him. The old adage, you hit, you don't sit, and that's certainly been true for Turley.
Was an all Pac-12 first-teamer this year, ABCA third-team All-American. 1-2 from DeSanto. Is hammered in the air to left. Reading it straight forward is Vince Vittori, who hauls it in for out number 2. So two balls that get in the air but get caught by the Harwich defense. We talked about Donovan Burke yesterday, who had just two balls leave the outfield the entire game, a home run and a flyout.
And that's what it takes in a small ballpark like Red Wilson Field. Ryan DeSanto able to pitch the fly ball more in these spacious confines.
Dylan Carey lays down a bunt that goes behind the left-handed batter's box. 0-1 to the designated hitter Carey. Rising sophomore at Nebraska. Has been one of Falmouth's best hitters, hitting .288 in 23 games. Behind 0-1. The pitch, lofted in the air, left center field. Vittori calls it off and hops in front of Scannell to make the grab. So a 1-2-3 inning off the jump for the Commodores offense. A pop out and two flyouts. Not a bad start for Ryan DeSanto. We head to the bottom of the first. Harwich about to bat for the first time on Cape League TV.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
first licks coming up for the Harwich Mariners against the righty MJ Seo, in for his first start of the summer for Falmouth's second appearance. They made 3 starts for 2 different Northwoods Leagues teams over this past summer. In 1 start, 3 games with the St. Cloud Rocks, had a 3.86 ERA, with the Rockford Rivets made 2 starts and had a 12.60 ERA. Pitched on Tuesday against Chatham, went a third of an inning, giving up 2 runs, 1 of them earned on 1 hit, with a walk and a strikeout, faced 4 batters and suffered the loss. To the A's was a shortstop coming out of Hebron High School outside of Dallas. Number 2 shortstop overall in Texas, so clearly a great athlete.
Yeah, and there's always that shortstop to pitcher pipeline that Jacob deGrom is kind of the exemplar of. But such high prospect pedigree, a little bit strange that we haven't seen him take too many at-bats. Of course, as SEC rosters are hard to crack as a freshman, but even on the Cape, still, taking his talents and devoting those talents to the mound.
Didn't play at all this past spring at LSU. The lineup he's facing: Ryan Weingartner leads things off with Cam Maldonado batting second, Cade Curlin batting third, Matt Scannell in the cleanup spot, Luke Heyman batting fifth, Danny Dickinson batting sixth with Jake Ogden at seventh, Macon Winslow at the 8th spot, and Vince Vittori rounding things out in the 9th spot. So shortstop Ryan Weingartner got the day off yesterday against YD. He's set to go in the right-handed batter's box. The deep stance with his right foot on the corner. First pitch of the day from Seo. Low it inside. Weingartner had to pick up his right foot to avoid getting hit. He's been one of the better hitters for Harwich this season. 239 average, not quite accurate. As he pops this one up in the air. Shallow infield, called off by third baseman Trent Caraway, who drops it. Popped out of his glove, and Weingartner is safe. It was in the shaded part of the infield, but Caraway couldn't hold on, and that should be an E5 that allows Weingartner to reach.
And wow, Harwich catches a break for it feels like the 2nd or 3rd time this month. Routine pop fly. Good job by Weingartner, not getting too overzealous with his turnaround first. And staying there, aboard as the leadoff man for feels like the first time in a while. His on-base percentage is typically so high, but so refreshing to have him to start a game.
Went 0 for 4 on Wednesday against Brewster with 3 strikeouts. He's on first now with a hot-hitting Cam Maldonado. Takes a ball low, skips away from the catcher Scott Mudler. Behind the plate with Isaiah Barquette at first, Jack Bell at second, Gavin Keelan at short, Trent Caraway at third, Donovan LaSalle is in left, Gavin Turley in center, and Jason Jones in right. 1-0 to Maldonado with Weingartner, the big black sliding glove. He takes off running. Throw down from Mudler, and that goes high into center field. Weingartner taking off for third. Fielded by Turley. He won't hold on. He just holds on to it. Stolen base for Ryan Weingartner, plus an E2 on the catcher, Scott Mudler. And just like that, Harwich has a runner 90 feet away, still no outs.
And 2 errors already in this game. Falmouth has handed Harwich a runner at third base with nobody out for free.
One and one to Maldonado on an 8-game hit streak. Looks at a ball below the knees. 2-1 to the rising junior at Northeastern. Outing 280, which is highest among qualified bats for Harwich. 2-1. Sale misses in tight. 3 balls and a strike to Maldonado with Weingartner on third. Scoreless ball game here in the bottom of the first between Falmouth and Harwich. The pitch from Seo is down and in. Gets away from Mudler. Weingartner breaking for the plate. The toss from Mudler, not in time. Ryan Weingartner slides in head first, and the Mariners on the board first for the 2nd game in a row. 1-0 Harwich in the bottom of the first.
And a risky break for the plate that time by Weingartner. Had a good read, and he trusted it to his credit, but that one did not take very far away from Mudler. And with nobody out, you typically see a team play things more conservatively when runs are at a premium.
So an interesting start. Weingartner reached on an error, stole second, got to third on an error, and then comes home to score on a wild pitch. And it was ball 4, so Cam Maldonado On at first with Cade Kurland. In the batter's box, skips it in the dirt, gets away from Mudler, and Maldonado jogs on down to second standing up. Back-to-back wild pitches from MJ Seo, and Harwich has another runner in scoring position.
And right now he's smoothing out the dirt in his landing zone on the pitcher's mound. Clearly not comfortable out there. Maldonado at second didn't even have to use his prolific speed all that much there.
9 stolen bases on the year for Maldonado. 1-0 to Kurland. Ball lone outside. 2-0 to Cade Kurland, the designated hitter today, rising junior at Florida. Hitting .305 through 15 games. Has been a really solid addition to this Harwich lineup. 2-0. Maldonado takes a step and Kurland bounces it back foul. 2-1 with no outs in the bottom of the first.
And Kurland has been indispensable, moving his way up to the 3 spot. Soon to qualify in that for those rate stats like batting average and on-base percentage. And at that point, I think he'd be the team leader in batting average. Up there in OBP as well.
The 2-1. Kurland flares it out to left. LaSalle laying out. He makes the catch. Sliding on his knee. Had his glove backhanded. And reels it in to rob Cade Kurland of a base hit.
And an excellent defensive play there from Donovan LaSalle out of Oklahoma State. Kurland caught that one off the end of the bat and it nearly fell in front of him if not for LaSalle's sliding try.
Much needed first out for MJ Seo. Maldonado on second, 1 out for Matt Scannell. Lone lefty in the order for Steve Englert. Batting in the 4 spot for Harwich. Maldonado, big lead on second. And it's a called strike. 0-1 to Scannell, who had a 7-game hit streak snapped yesterday after an 0-for-4 performance.
No surprise that he's back in the cleanup spot, though. Few hitters on the Cape seeing it better than Tank.
0-1. Skipped in the dirt, kept in front by Mudler. And Maldonado stays put at second. Really strong block from the backstop, Scott Mudler.
Yeah, if he doesn't trap that almost perfectly between his chest protector and his glove, Maldonado wobbling out on his front foot, ready to take off for third.
And there he goes. Scannell swats it into center field. Charging on as a center fielder Turley. Catches it on the run. The throw into second, and Maldonado gets doubled up. MJ Seo gets some help from his defense. Sliding grab from Donovan LaSalle and some errant base running as well from Harwich. A fly out to center turns into a double play. We've seen that before from the Mariners base runners. But Harwich still scores first. Wild pitch. Ryan Weingartner with some savvy base running. No hits in the inning though. 2 errors and 1 run. It's the Mariners 1, Commodores 0, heading to the second on the Harwich Mariner Network.
Hey Mariners fans, whether you're at White House Field or cheering from home, gear up with some official Harwich Mariners merchandise. Order online or visit our booth behind home plate. See you soon, and roll NERS.
Commodores up to bat for the second time, trailing 1-0 after a very interesting first inning. Mariners scored a run on no hits, 2 errors. Leading 1-0, it was an effective first inning from Ryan DeSanto, who threw just 8 pitches and 7 strikes.
Yeah, the top of the first, a quintessential Ryan DeSanto first inning, and the bottom of the first, a quintessential inning for both teams. 2 errors and a walk in the inning, but the Mariners make it out on the bases and get a run on a wild pitch.
So it's the cleanup hitter, third baseman Trent Caraway in the right-handed batter's box. First pitch from DeSanto. Lofted in the air, shallow center field. Scannell running underneath it. Sticks up his right arm and watches the ball into his glove. Another one pitch, one out for Ryan DeSanto.
Mariners outfielders are playing 3 flags up, as routine as can be for Scannell, who covers a lot of ground in his own right, but his range really hasn't been tested yet.
Maybe it will be here with right fielder Jason Jones hitting .333 on the season through 19 games. Initial offer. Flied right in the air. DeSanto Scannell, hustling back. Right in front of the warning track. 2 pitches, 2 outs for the Commodores.
And at this point, you got to take the first pitch if you're Scott Mudler, the man coming up. I mean, right? 8 pitches in the first inning, and now you're at 10 through the first 1 2/3. At this point, Ryan DeSanto could make it through the entire game.
DeSanto threw 49 pitches in 2 innings in his last outing. Now he's up to 10 through an inning and 2/3. Facing a lefty here in the catcher Scott Mudler. Just his 8th appearance for the Commodores, a rising senior at Oklahoma. And much like Carson said, Mudler takes the first pitch. It's 0-1. The left-handed catcher hitting .200 through 7 games. 0-1. Breaking ball on the ground to second. Dickinson scoops it, takes a few steps forward. High throw. Heyman keeps his foot on the bag, so a lengthy at-bat there for Ryan DeSanto. 2 pitches, a total of 4 thrown in the inning. 2 flyouts and a ground out. Keep the Commodores off the base paths. It's 1-0 Mariners, heading to the bottom of the second on Cape League TV.
Get ready for big results with our small machines. With more power, performance, comfort, and savings, they're ready for every job. And we're ready with plenty of inventory, the best support in the business, same-day parts availability, and locations across the Northeast. So you can always be ready to work. Milton Cat, always ready.
Home half of the second. Skylar Wilkes here with Carson Trail. Mariners leading the Commodores 1-0 after an action-packed first inning, which saw 2 errors and a wild pitch bring home a run. 4 batters faced in the inning from Seo, who got a double play, a fly out to center, and then Cam Maldonado on an 8-6 double play. So it's first baseman Luke Heyman leading things off for Harwich. Takes the first pitch, first strike towards the top of the zone. A soft floater in there on the curveball from Seo. Heyman drove home the lone run for the Mariners yesterday in the loss to the Red Sox with a solo shot. 0-1, trying to replicate it again. Came off balanced, 0-2. Heyman off to a slow start this summer with the Mariners, just hitting .154. Playing against his former team here, who he played with last year, 17 games. 0-2. Bounces nearly a foot in front of the plate into the chest protector of Mudler. A ball and 2 strikes to Heyman, who has shown quite a bit of power already in his 2 home runs with the Mariners.
Yeah, and he's got more in the tank. Double-digit home runs this past spring with Florida.
1-2. Chokes up on the bat. Seo deals high. Count even to 2 apiece.
And that's on a team with a lot of prolific power hitters. Heyman draft eligible this year.
2-2. Another bounce in the dirt. This one might have been almost 2 feet in front of the plate, and now the count is full.
And Heyman has not had to work very hard to get back into this count. A lot of non-competitive pitches from Seo. Heyman, a guy who's got a good idea of the zone, and I don't think he'll expand here.
Has a small choke up on the bat, the payoff. Swings and fouls it back into the netting. 3-2 to Heyman. Went 1 for 3 yesterday, along with the homer, a walk, and a strikeout. 3 balls, 2 strikes, no outs in the bottom of the second. His hands are up about 2 inches off the end of the bat. 3-2. Another skip in the dirt. Luke Heyman walks for the 2nd straight game. 3rd time this season, a leadoff base runner for the Mariners.
And the Mariners will take whatever they can get. This July, they've had the worst team batting average in the Cape League. But the Commodores, who have struggled on the road, who have struggled with the amount of walks that they've issued, that's the 2nd walk, but the 3rd base runner allowed aboard without a hit.
Falmouth, 3rd most walks issued in the league. Heyman on first. Here's the 2nd baseman, Danny Dickinson. Showing bunt. Puts it down right in front of the mound. Seo fields it. Turns to first. Low throw. Dug out by Barquette. It's a successful sac bunt from Dickinson. Heyman moves over to second, and Harwich has a runner in scoring position with just 1 out.
And now Jake Ogden's up, a guy who can put a charge into one at any time. Of course, he's probably very happy to see the Commodores for another time this year after he launched a 434-foot home run to left field at Gulf Fuller earlier this year.
I was going to say, he knows, certainly knows how to put a charge in the ball. He's 3 for 7 in 2 games against Falmouth. Stands in the box, waggling the bat, and looks at a ball upstairs. 1-0 to Ogden. A home run, 4 RBIs against Falmouth. That 434-foot blast is the longest self-proclaimed of his career. This one is in the air, shallow left field. 3 Commodores chasing after it, sliding to make the grab as the shortstop Keelan. Heyman gets back to the bag. Gavin Keelan out there in left field. Slid to a knee, looked over his shoulder, and caught the baseball to rob Ogden of a base hit. There's a reason why he was one of the most coveted players in the transfer portal, and that's just one of them.
Yeah, the glove tool on full display there. That is not an easy play for any shortstop to make. You'd love to be called off by your left fielder, but Keelan very prepared as soon as that ball left the bat to make the play himself.
2 gone for the Mariners. Here's the catcher making Winslow. With Heyman on second, 2 outs, bottom of the second. The pitch, low and inside. Mudler slid to his left to catch it. 1-0. Winslow is in a bit of a slide offensively, 0 for 3 yesterday. Same thing against Brewster the day before. 1-0, sliced, foul. Over the Falmouth dugout, first base side, 1-1.
Winslow back behind the plate after playing most of his innings for Duke in the outfield as he was yesterday at YD.
1-1. Skipped in the dirt away from Mudler, who loses track of it, and Heyman jogs on down to third. Third wild pitch from MJ Seo. And now the Mariners have a runner at third with 2 outs.
And it would pay to be patient here. Seo already has shown propensity to spike the ball well in front of home plate. One more mistake's another run.
Winslow facing Falmouth for the first time this season. Now down to 190 on the year. 2-1 with Heyman on third. The delivery way up and in. Check on down at first. Mike Hinojosa says Winslow held up. Moves the count to 3-1. Jumped back out of the way as the pitch came up near the letters. So 3-1 to Winslow. 2 outs in the bottom of the second. Holds off on a pitch high again. Making Winslow works a walk. second of the inning issued by MJ Seo. Men on the corners, 2 outs for the Mariners.
And Vince Vittori can do what he does best, be patient with the zone. No need to expand, no need to accept an early challenge. Seo has been around and seldom in the zone, it feels like. Does not have to make things easier for him.
First pitch to Vittori. Nails the top of the zone, 0-1 to the left fielder, who last played on Monday at Bourne, went 0 for 1, but he had 3 walks in the game. Most ever in his collegiate career, 0-1. Seo tries to go back to the same spot. This time, it's a ball. 1-1 to the rising redshirt sophomore at Elon, who is playing just his 11th game, but seemingly produces every single time he's in the lineup. The 1-1. Whiffs at the fastball. A ball and 2 strikes with Winslow on first, Heyman on third. 2 outs in the bottom of the second. Harwich leading Falmouth 1-0. Seo comes set just above the belt. Glove at the letters. The delivery. Swing and a miss. Down goes Vince Vittori. MJ Seo issues 2 walks, had men on the corners. But Harwich comes up empty-handed yet again. 1-0 is the Mariners' lead, heading to the third on Cape League TV.
You need to be seen for a minor illness or injury. Cape Cod Healthcare Urgent Care is here for you with high-quality, full-service walk-in care. ER expertise meets urgent care convenience at our 6 urgent care centers, which are staffed by board-certified ER providers and located Cape-wide from Falmouth to Orleans. Cape Cod Healthcare Urgent Care is open daily and offers a cost-saving option for everything from sprains to stitches, with timely treatment in under an hour for most patients. View online wait times at capecodhealth.org/urgent care. Cape Cod Healthcare Urgent Care. Minor emergencies, major attention.
It's the third inning between Mariners and Commodores. 1-0 Harwich lead. Ryan DeSanto has faced 6 batters, has thrown 12 pitches. So far, no hits, no strikeouts either. A lot of contact from these Commodore bats.
And he's thrown 1 ball. So it's literally filling up the zone, and he's gotten a swing almost every time.
Looking to continue it here against the first baseman, Isaiah Barquette. Digs into the right-handed batter's box. Shade starting to fully cover the infield and make its way to left. Whole right side of the field still covered in sun. First pitch from DeSanto. Is a called strike. Right down the middle, 0-1 to Barquette. Started his collegiate career at NC State. Transferred for his sophomore year this past season to Stetson. 0-1, now showing bunt, and DeSanto misses down for the second ball of the game. 1-1 to Barquette. Delivery. Nicks the inside corner. Barquette didn't agree, but now he's behind 1-2.
DeSanto not letting his arms get extended. Barquette choking up on his bat a little bit now to compensate.
1-2 from DeSanto. Breaking ball, flared into left. That gets over the glove of Ogden. And Isaiah Barquette aboard the first hit of the ball game. Leadoff single here in the third, with the Commodores trailing 1-0.
Not what we came to expect from DeSanto, an 0-2 mistake. Breaking ball left up over the inner half of the plate. Barquette just did enough to dig it out. And the leadoff single for the Commodores. First hit for the game for either side.
Pretty crazy. Took over 2 innings. Barquette on first with Donovan LaSalle. Wide stance in the right-handed batter's box. And a miss up and away from DeSanto. 1-0. For the rising sophomore at Oklahoma State, played very sparingly in Stillwater. Just 8 games. Zerdy, this is his 19th so far this summer. 1-0. LaSalle showing bunt. And DeSanto rifles in a strike. 1-1. Barquette on first. Just 2 stolen bases this summer after taking 16 in the spring at Stetson. DeSanto steps off and throws it back to Heyman, keeping an eye on Barquette. You hope as a lefty that he's spending a little time with yesterday's starter Donovan Burke, who has probably one of the best pickoff moves we've seen.
Yeah. DeSanto, not quite as deceptive, but he's got him picked off here.
And there goes Barquette. Heyman, throw down, and it gets away from Weingartner. Fired it into left field. Isaiah Barquette was nearly a sitting duck, but Heyman rushed the throw down to Weingartner. And now Falmouth has a runner in scoring position with no outs. Barquette took off on first movement from DeSanto, who threw it on down to Heyman and couldn't execute the throw. So Barquette is safe. It's a 1-1 count to LaSalle with no outs and a runner on second. DeSanto, a long look. Now the pitch. LaSalle nearly offers but holds back. 2 balls and a strike. DeSanto with the glove at the chest. Misses high and outside. And LaSalle in front 3-1. Has struggled in 2 games against Harwich this summer. 0 for 8 with a walk and 4 strikeouts. But now he's on the cusp of his 2nd walk of the series and 8th of the season. 3-1 with Barquette on second. DeSanto 2 looks and the pitch. And LaSalle whiffs at it. Count is full.
Still in that strikeout situation, and an opportunity to get it versus a hitter who has struggled with the swing and miss this year, at one point leading all the league, now tied for first on his team with 23 punch-outs.
Payoff from DeSanto. Down he goes. Comes back from a 3-1 count and strikes Donovan LaSalle out swinging. 1 gone for Falmouth here in the 3rd with a man on second.
Keeping that tying run at second, now with 1 away. Do not need to get any more strikeouts to get through the remainder of the inning. Jack Bell up, though. Guy who's struggled through his first 21 at-bats this year.
Nearly gets hit on the first pitch. Had to quickly back out of the batter's box as DeSanto missed way up and in. But speaking to Bell's struggles, 2 for 21 through 8 games. And the count 1-0 with Barquette on second. 1 out in the top of the 3rd. The pitch is elevated, but a called strike nonetheless. 1-1 to Bell, who spent this past year as a freshman at Texas A&M, played just 19 games, staying in his home state of Texas to transfer to TCU. 1-1. Breaking ball, flared in the air, left field. Fattori sprinting after it towards the bullpen, and he makes the catch on the run right towards the home plate side of the Harwich bullpen. Vince Fattori, who stole his first base on Monday of the season, showing off the wheels to reel in that baseball.
Yeah, he had to cover a lot of ground out there, ranging all the way toward the warning track behind the Harwich bullpen. Guy was flying, managing to make the one-hand grab, plenty of space before he reached the fence.
Back to the top of the order for Falmouth. with Gavin Keelan, another transfer, spent the first 2 years at Louisville, heading to Tennessee for his junior season. Initial offer from DeSanto, Fandat, 0-1. Keelan popped up to third on the first pitch of the game, hitting .231 through 16 games with Falmouth. No balls, 1 strike, 2 outs in the top of the third. Barquette on second after a single and a stolen base. And DeSanto steps off. Count remains 0-1 to Keelan.
And Falmouth has really struggled in these situations. Runners in scoring position this year, especially over this last stretch. They still have good season numbers with runners in scoring position, but they've taken a downturn over the past couple of weeks.
0-1. DeSanto misses outside. 1 for 10 yesterday. The runners in scoring position in the loss to Bourne. 1-1 to Keelan, who is an all-ACC third-teamer in the spring at Louisville. The pitch whiffs at a curveball low and outside.
And that was by far the best curveball that DeSanto has thrown today. Starting it middle of the plate and then letting it bite down and away from left-hand hitters.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 1-0 Mariners lead in the top of the third. Barquette on second. DeSanto kicks and deals. And Keelan fouls it right back to the netting behind home plate. Already an arm up in the Harwich bullpen. It's Danny Macchiarola, the righty. 1-2 to Keelan. Barquette with a solid lead on second. The pitch misses just in. Looked like DeSanto dropped the curveball in, but Marvick Gomez thought otherwise.
Yeah, I couldn't tell where Gavin Keelan got his knees buckled or whether he saw that the whole way.
So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The pitch from DeSanto looked like a swinging miss from Keelan that popped out of the mitt of Winslow, but instead it was just a foul tip.
Yeah, Winslow adjusting his glove. Maybe he thinks he should have squeezed that, but typically it clanged off his mitt a little bit harder than the average foul tip. Not easy to get a grip.
Another 2-2 on the way. And another hard foul from Keelan. That soars past our press box here at White House Field. Lengthy at bat. A strong battle between Ryan DeSanto and Gavin Keelan. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And on second, here in the top of the third, DeSanto with a look at Barquette, now another. And the offer. Low and away in the dirt, making Winslow sliding to his left. Make sure it didn't get to the backstop, and the count is full.
Another excellent block by Winslow. Sliding over on his knee guards to his left, keeping that one from going to the backstop. No head start for the runner Barquette after the leadoff single, and now at second base with 2 away.
9th pitch of the at-bat on the way. Swing and a miss. Ryan DeSanto wins the battle. Strikes out Gavin Keelan on a high fastball. And after a lead-off single, the Commodores can't capitalize. 2 strikeouts in the inning and a flyout. And Falmouth leaves a runner in scoring position and trails 1-0, heading to the bottom of the third on the Harwich Mariner Network.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
Last half of the third, MJ Seo still on the mound for the Commodores. And he's got to deal with the top of the order for the Mariners. Had a interesting second inning as well. Faced 5 batters, walked 2, had men on the corners, but got away unscathed. Ryan Weingartner leads things off his second at bat. Stares at a fastball low in the zone. 0-1 to the Penn State transfer, Rising Jr. Another pitch. And that dropped off the face of the earth into the zone. Completely froze Weingartner. And Seo ahead 0-2.
One of his best breaking balls of the evening.
The 0-2. Sent high in the air to right field. Jason Jones battling the sun, no problem. Weingartner with a fly out to right for out number 1 of the inning.
No easy play for Jones either. Ranging back and looking right into the sun that's setting above the tree line. Shadows lengthening toward his end of the yard. Able to make the play routinely.
Gavin Turley has the worst of it out there in center. Meanwhile, Donovan LaSalle safe in the shade and left. Cam Maldonado has to duck out of the way on the initial offer from Seo, a breaking ball way high. 1-0 to the right fielder who walked his first time up in the first. 1-0. Slashes it foul. Out of play on the first base side, 1-1. Ended up ending the inning. Was on second and took off running when it was a fly out to center, got doubled up at second. 1-1. Skipped in the dirt. 2 balls and a strike to Maldonado, who's making his first appearance of the season against Falmouth. 2-1. Driven in the air to right. Jones, again in position. Sticks up the tan leather glove to block the sun and makes the catch for out number 2.
That one a bit more of a charge into it, but still well short of clearing the wall. 2 routine flyouts for Jason Jones. Quickly 2 gone.
Seo looking to retire the side in order for the first time. Faced 4 batters in the first, 5 in the second. Now it's Cade Kurland. Watches a ball bounce in front of the plate into the mitt of Mudler. 1-0 to the second base, to the designated hitter. So used to saying second base, where he's played consistently much of the last few weeks. Miss way high from Seo. 2-0 to Kurland, who flew out to left in the first on a sliding grab from Donovan LaSalle. The pitch up at the head of Kurland, had to turn away. Fortunately, he's wearing that jaw protector, blocking his left cheek. But he's in hitter's count 3-0. The pitch in tight at the letters. Cade Kurland works a walk on 4 pitches, and the Mariners have a base runner on with 2 outs.
And in many of these at-bats against Seo, it feels like if you bide your time long enough, you'll get 4 balls. That time it took no time at all, but that's the case to be patient against the young right-hander.
44 pitches so far for Seo, just 20 have found the zone. Kurland on at first with 2 outs, Matt Scannell looks at a first pitch strike in just above the knees, 0-1. Scannell flew out to center in the first, which ended up being an 8-6 double play to end the inning. Off speed pitch. Right down the middle. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs in the bottom of the third. Harwich leading 1-0 over Falmouth with Kurland on first. Stretches out with the white sliding mitt on his left hand. Seo kicks and deals. Kurland takes off. High pitch. Mudler throw down, and it drops out of the glove of Keelan. Kurland sprinting on his way to third. Turley just throws it into his cutoff man. An accurate and timely throw from Mudler that Keelan just couldn't corral. And so Kurland now in at third with 2 outs. So it's going to be an error on the shortstop Gavin Keelan. Stolen base for Curlin plus the E6. And a 1-2 count to Scannell.
Another opportunity to make the Commodores pay for a defensive mistake.
1-2. And went back foul. Scannell has been one of the Mariners' hottest hitters in the month of July. Went 0 for 4 yesterday, but still hitting .306 for the month with 9 RBIs. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The pitch from Seo. Scannell laces it foul right towards the Falmouth dugout in right field. Just a little early. That could have been damage.
Those are 2 swings where Scannell has been on whatever Seo has thrown. Convincing foul straight back, and then a shot well down the right field line.
Another 1-2 to Scannell with Curland on third. And that's popped up foul. Out of play on the first base side. Scannell still alive.
And again, if you can bide your time, it's felt like MJ Seo has constantly been spiking his breaking balls in the dirt. One more miss, that's another run.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs in the bottom of the third. Seo, the delivery. A near miss on the outside corner. Looked like he had the breaking ball in, but Marvick Gomez thought otherwise.
Great take by Scannell. He wasn't fooled.
Count even at 2 apiece. On the way. Drives it high in the air. Right field, Jason Jones shifting to his right. Moves over a little more. And squeezes the baseball for out number 3. MJ Seo does walk a batter, but nothing else. With a stolen base and an error, puts a runner at third. Has done his job more or less. Mariners leading just 1-0 through 3 innings. When we come back, my partner Carson Trail takes over on the play-by-play duties for innings 4 through 6. You won't want to miss it right here on Cape League TV.
Hey Mariners fans, whether you're at White House Field or cheering from home, gear up with some official Harwich Mariners merchandise. Order online or visit our booth behind home plate. See you soon, and roll NERS.
We welcome you back to White House Field along with Skylar Wilkes. My name's Carson Trail. It's 1-0 Harwich leading Falmouth, despite the Mariners not having a hit as we begin the top of the 4th inning. First up, the right-hand batting center fielder Gavin Turley. 2 for 4 yesterday against Hyannis, and 0 for 1 with the flyout against Ryan DeSanto, the man still on the mound. Turley swings the bat a couple of times. Rising junior out of Oregon State. Digs in back of the box. DeSanto from the stretch, kicks and deals. Swinging a broken bat flare out towards center field. Scannell got a late break, comes racing in, slides, and he makes the catch. So Turley robbed of a hit and a bat, and he's out number 1 to begin the top of the 4th.
Wasn't hard hit at all because of that broken lumber. Scannell read it really well off the bat, given how tricky it could be when it's broken, but showing off the athleticism, going down to a knee to make the catch.
Yeah, came sliding in, ended up catching that above his right shoulder. And a smooth defensive play out number 1 for Dylan Carey. 1-0 Harwich, top of the 4th. DeSanto's first pitch. Swinging a pop-up down the first base side. Long one for Heyman. He won't get there. It lands out of play. Strike 1. Another right-hand batter. Carey went down quietly in his first trip, another flyout. DeSanto got off to such an efficient start, 12 pitches through his first 2 innings. before finally being made to work in the third. Falmouth still not getting a run. A lefty out of Penn State delivers. 0-1 fastball, strike two called. Top of the zone at 88 miles an hour. Carey, rising sophomore at Nebraska, 6'2", 205 pounds. Infield's playing straight away. DeSanto, the hold and the 0-2 pitch. In the dirt with the fastball, it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Carey started in 61 of 62 games for the Huskers in 2024. 255 hitter in his freshman year with 7 home runs and 31 driven in. Choked up about a half-inch on his bat. Now the 1-2. Swinging a jam shot ground ball on the ground to short. Long run for Ogden over from 30. Bare hands, but has no play. Base hit for Dylan Carey. Second hit of the day for the Commodores, and they have a man on with 1 out here in the top of the 4th. 1-0 Harwich leading.
Wasn't a very hard hit ball by Carey, but somewhat of a miscommunication between Weingartner and Ogden deciding who was going to get it or not. Would have been a tough play either or, but with Ogden, longer run, tough barehand play, and an infield single for Carey.
Now here's Trent Caraway, big, strong right-hand batter. DeSanto checks on first, and he delivers. Change up, fades off the outside corner, ball 1. Mariners lead 1-0 without a hit. Falmouth has 2 hits, but 3 errors and 4 walks have been the difference so far. Both teams struggling through this part of the year, as time is called by home plate umpire Marvick Gomez. Count still 1-0. Looked like a loose ball in the field. A couple of pitchers getting loose, 1 for the Mariners and 1 for the Commodores. Now DeSanto sets the 1-0 pitch. Called strike 1. Fastball down the middle. And count even to another Oregon State Beaver out of Dana Point, California. Trent Caraway. Played about a third of the games for the Beavers, and with his teammate Turley, who made the first out of this inning. The pitch. Swinging a foul in the barrel, and the bat goes hurtling toward the left side. It hits off the netting above the spangled festoons and lands on the warning track. So Caraway, his bat's still in one piece, but probably needs some extra pine tar before digging in for the 1-2 pitch.
Believe it or not, Jason Jones offered it to him on deck, but he turned it away. So hopefully he keeps a better grip on the bat for this next pitch.
Caraway played the second of 2 games that the Commodores faced off the Mariners in. 1 for 2 with 2 walks in that affair. Now the 1-2. There goes the runner. Pitch is down and away. Here's the throw from Winslow. On a bounce, the tag! Too late! DeSanto, or rather Dickinson, picked it out on a bounce and quickly got the tag down on Carey, but his hand was in there. And the stolen base. And at second, 1 man out. Caraway digs back in. 6'2" frame. Moving over the catcher Winslow in the crouch. The 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. So Caraway goes down. That's the 3rd strikeout for DeSanto. And now 2 gone in the 4th inning for Jason Jones.
Another elevated fastball from DeSanto that he doesn't have a whole lot of velocity on it, but it blows by Caraway. He's gone a lot to that heater, and it's been effective against these Commodore bats.
1-0 Mariners, top of the 4th. The man up, Jason Jones, a right-hand batter. Flew out in his first trip, tying run at second with 2 men away. The first pitch. Big curveball flops way outside, making Winslow slides on his knee guards out of the crouch to get it. A ball and no strikes. Third matchup of the year, and DeSanto balks. He was on the mound and looked like he flinched, and he knew it. So a stolen base for Carey to get him to second, and a balk moves him to third with 2 away. The count's still 1-0, and R.J. Thomas, the pitching coach, out to speak for the Harwich Ace.
Got to be a little careful here Now that a runner is 90 feet closer, good righty hitter in Jason Jones, but no reason to change your approach. You haven't gotten a whole lot of hits allowed. There's just been a lot of contact to defense. DeSanto can really get Jones with some off-speed stuff and a mix of that elevated fastball.
R.J. Thomas also a welcome set on the mound after he was away for the team for the better part of 3 weeks. He returns back to the third base dugout. The Harwich pitching staff has struggled significantly in his absence. One of the worst team ERAs in the month of July, in which they've gone 2-12. Looking for their third win here against the Commodores, leading 1-0 in the top of the fourth. The 1-0 to Jones. Swing and a miss. Blew a fastball right by him to even the count.
And that was only at 90 miles per hour, but it seemed like Jones was thinking off speed, and DeSanto, that's where that deception comes in.
Carey down the line from third in foul ground. Now the 1-1. Swinging a foul straight back. Another challenge fastball, inner half of the plate. And Jones just a little bit late on it. It's 1-2.
I would go with the elevated fastball here. You want to give him 3 looks and then maybe try to dig it in the dirt with a breaking ball, but that fastball has worked so far for DeSanto.
The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Back-to-back punch-outs for Ryan DeSanto. His 4th of the game, gets through his 4th scoreless inning. It's 1-0 Harwich when we go to the bottom of the 4th on the Harwich Mariner Network.
Get ready for big results with our small machines. With more power, performance, comfort, and savings. They're ready for every job. And we're ready with plenty of inventory, the best support in the business, same-day parts availability, and locations across the Northeast. So you can always be ready to work. Milton Cat, always ready.
Back for the bottom of the 4th inning, a 1-0 lead for the Mariners over the Commodores. As a new pitcher for the visiting Doors, it's Francis Ferguson. The lefty spent his prior college career at Eastern Nazarene, but now at Eastern Connecticut State.
Well, a big reason for that is the school closed. Eastern Nazarene no longer functioning, similar to a Birmingham Southern at the Division III level. So Ferguson heading to for Division III powerhouse. Eastern Connecticut State won the national championship in 2022. He was the Futures League Pitcher of the Year last year with the Vermont Lake Monsters. But Harwich has seen him before, and they did damage against him. Back in the first win, that 10-8 victory, Ferguson actually suffered a blown save, giving up 4 runs on 2 hits with 3 walks. This is a Harwich team that has hit relatively well against lefties, and after struggling not getting a hit in 3 innings against Seo, looking to do some damage against Ferguson here.
The difference in this game has been 3 errors for the visiting Commodores. That's a team that struggled traditionally on every side of the ball this year. And Harwich has had the struggles of their own, but they have the upper hand against the new pitcher Ferguson to begin Ferguson's outing. It's Heyman, Dickinson, and Ogden. Right-hand batter with power. Heyman homered yesterday to dead center field at YD. The first pitch, swing and a miss. Fastball by him at 93 miles an hour. Ferguson with some urgency. Glove already set belt high. Color black matching his jersey. The 0-1. Heyman takes off the inside corner with a slider. catcher and first baseman out of Florida. Made an error today, which is uncharacteristic considering how sure-handed he is. The 1-1. Swinging a smash past the reaching try of the shortstop Keelan. Base hit left field. First hit of the game for the Mariners comes to start the bottom of the fourth inning, leading 1-0. And now here's Danny Dickinson.
Well, it took long enough, Carson, and got to feel good for Heyman. Home run yesterday's kind of been struggling recently at the plate, but sees the new pitcher in Ferguson and rips a single to left field. You got to hope that a struggling hitter behind him, Danny Dickinson, can pick up the slack as well.
Righty against lefty Ferguson with nobody out and a man at first as the pitch. Swinging a foul tip into the glove of Mudler, strike one. Mariners a 1-0 lead. Third matchup of the year against the Commodores. The first game, a lot of offense to go around, 10-8. The Mariner victory at Gov Fuller Field. The second also a Mariner victory as the 0-1 is a swinging foul off to the right-hand side, 0-2. That second game, strong finish for the Mariners behind Hayden LeFew. The lefty who threw 5 innings, 8 strikeouts, 1 walk, 4 hit batsmen, but his best outing as a Mariner before he was released earlier. 0-2 coming to Dickinson. He fouls one off his front shin that goes trickling up the first base side. Count still at 0-2. Infield at double play depth. The second baseman, Bell, is shaded a couple of steps toward the middle, and the first baseman, Barquette, holding Heyman on, leaves a big hole in the right side. Dickinson, with nobody out, came up with Heyman at first and put a bunt down. 2-strike count. Doors not expecting one here. The pitch on the way. In the dirt, great block by Mudler, keeping Heyman at first.
He's had to deal with a lot of those today. So really impressive work. A few wild pitches, 3 of them from Seo. Tough pitch with Ferguson's velocity, but Mudler has overall played a really solid defense today behind the plate.
So Mudler wipes some sweat off the skull cap of his mask and straps it back on. 1-2 the count. Ferguson the lefty from the stretch in the middle of the mound. Comes set. Glove even with his belt. Now the 1-2 to Dickinson. Swinging a foul straight back. At the top of the zone at 93 miles an hour. Dickinson, one of 15 transfers for the Mariners that has found a new home. From mid-major Utah Valley to the perennial national title contender LSU. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Curveball tapped on the ground toward third. Caraway charges, fields, throws to first, low and off the glove of Caraway, trickling into foul ground. Danny Dickinson is awarded with the hit, but Luke Heyman moves from second and then to third on an error. Looks to be the 4th of the game for the Commodores. And now runners at the corners to start the bottom of the 4th. 1-0 Mariners the lead and a chance for much more.
A lot of defensive mistakes here for Falmouth that Harwich is yet to really capitalize on. 4 errors. That's the most by an opposing team against Harwich all season long. So now you've got a trusted hitter in Jake Ogden up. Got to take advantage here and try to blow this open in some regard or create some distance.
Right-hand batter with power as the first pitch. Swing and a foul high enough to the right. No balls and 1 strike. Ogden's home run back in game 1 of this season series. The longest hit ball of his career. Against the lefty, Ferguson, who kicks and fires. Off the outside corner at 92 miles an hour. The count even. That home run for Ogden was off a lefty, but it was off a different pitcher. It was not Ferguson, as Ogden swings at a high fastball. 1 ball and 2 strikes. That was up and out of the zone. Ogden always so aggressive on pitches up in that area. Let's see if he can get one airborne to plate the second run of the game. 1-0 Mariners, runners at the corners, nobody out, last of the fourth. The pitch, runner from first goes, pitches in the dirt, and Dickinson slides into second head first without a throw.
It was only a matter of time before Dickinson took off running. He is a machine on the base paths, and now still no outs. You got two men in scoring position with one of your top RBI guys at the plate in an advantageous at-bat against a lefty. Here's the time for Ogden to come through.
2 balls, 2 strikes. The first baseman, Barquette, is playing with his toes on the grass. The rest of the infield back. The 2-2. Swinging a fly ball, flared down the right field line. It is a fair ball. It bounces and then kicks off the glove of Jones. 1 run scores. Heyman comes in and the ball kicks away, and Dickinson, who stopped at third, trots in to score standing up. A single. That's a double by Ogden. Check that. And Dickinson, who had came to third, the ball came in toward Keelan covering second. The 5th error of the game plates the second run, and it's a 3-0 Mariner lead with the runner at second, nobody out in the 4th inning.
Well, that's what Jake Ogden is here to do, drive home runs. Good to see him continuing his hit streak today, but Falmouth just killing itself with all these errors. This could be a much different ball game if they were playing more sound defense.
5th error of the game for the Doors. As many as the hits combined across the two teams. Now the first pitch is off the outside corner to Macon Winslow, ball 1. So runner at second, that's Ogden. Nobody out. Harwich has tripled the lead after the single and an error, or the double and an error. The 1-0. Swing high, fly ball center field shallow. Turley comes racing in. It drops in front of him. Base hit. Excellent read for Ogden in the end, but he has to stop at third. Just a little dying quail off the end of the bat. And the runners at the corners again for the Mariners, and nobody out.
There's the difference between Ferguson and Seo. Seo was kind of all over the place, unpredictable. Wasn't throwing a lot of strikes, but Ferguson is a strike thrower. He's more accurate. But that plays into the advantage of Harwich. Not only have they seen him before, but they're good hitters. And Ferguson is just not executing the way he's used to executing. So they're hittable pitches, and Harwich now 4 knocks in a row. This is something that is such a breath of fresh air, something we haven't seen for this team in quite a while.
The Mariners now leading 3-0 in the bottom of the 4th, and a mound visit freshly adjourned by Marvick Gomez, the home plate umpire. In July, they had the worst team batting average in the Cape League, and they were hitting .207 the last 2 weeks after getting shut out 2 games ago and then held to 1 run at YD yesterday. So 4 hits in a row after being held hitless the first 3 innings, all coming against the lefty Francis Ferguson. Now Vince Vittori, only strikeout of the game for the Mariners so far. The first pitch, he takes a fastball for a strike at the top of the zone. 0-1. Ogden at third, Winslow at first, nobody out. The infield will trade a run for 2 outs, playing at double play depth. The 0-1 pitch. Vittori hits one foul, high and out of play to the right. 0-2. 3 runs, 4 hits, no errors for Harwich, no runs, 2 hits, and 5 errors for Falmouth. The Doors have struggled on every side of the ball this year on the outside looking in of the West Division playoff picture. The 0-2. Vittori takes up and away, a change-up. 1 ball and 2 strikes. On our out-of-town scoreboard, all 5 games underway on this Friday night. Ferguson holds and comes home. Swinging a foul, flat-footed spoil from Vittori. Slider at the bottom part of the zone. He hangs in there, still 1-2. Bourne is leading Brewster on only 2 hits. That game being played at Dornan Park over the Whitecaps. Hyannis a 6-0 lead over Chatham in the bottom of the 6th at McKeon Park as the 1-2 pitch. Just above the zone, 92-mile-an-hour fastball out of the left hand of Ferguson, 2-2. Chatham held to 1 hit so far in that game, despite 2 errors. Orleans leads YD in the bottom of the 4th at Eldridge, 2-0. And then Katuitt has beaten Wareham 6-1, that game final. The 2-2, swinging a foul. Fattori in swing mode, protecting the bottom of the zone. Hangs in there with Ogden, leading away from third base and foul ground, and Winslow off the first base bag with Barquette holding. Four hits, including a double, but 2 errors in the inning alone for the Commodores. The 2-2. Swinging a pop-up. Out into shallow left center field, could be trouble. LaSalle comes racing in. He makes the call and makes the catch. Here comes the throw home. Unnecessary, it looks like, as Ogden tagged and bluffed from third. Unfortunately, Winslow remains at first. Now 1 gone in the inning, and runners still at the corners for Ryan Weingartner.
Solid at bat, Fattori, known for his plate discipline. 11 walks compared to now 10 strikeouts, but just didn't get it deep enough in the left field. Probably needed a few more yards, and Ogden, who has decent speed on the base paths, would have been enough to beat out the throw from LaSalle.
Mariners 3, Commodores nothing. Bottom of the 4th, 2 already in for the home side. Weingartner digs in, batting right-handed. Runners at the corners, 1 out, as the pitch is a fastball up above the zone. 1 ball and no strikes. Weingartner reached on an error and scored a run after stealing a base. A throwing error and a wild pitch. 2 errors in the first inning and 2 more here in the 4th. 5 total for the Commodores. Now the 1-0 from Ferguson. Weingartner takes a strike, a fastball at 91 miles an hour. Ogden still at third. Knocked in a run with a double. 2 scored on the play, but the second accredited to an E6. Winslow at first. 1 gone in the inning. Sac fly scores another. The pitch to Weingartner. Strike 2 called. Breaking ball snaps in belt high. The shortstop digs back in. Black sliding mitt protruding from his back pocket. The set from the lefty Ferguson. Now the 1-2. Just off the outside corner. Another breaking ball. Knocking on the back door. But home plate umpire Marvick Gomez doesn't let it in. Count even 2-2. Weingartner, excellent idea of the zone. Now the pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. So 2 straight unproductive outs for the Mariners, and runners remain at the corners for Cam Maldonado.
Still 2 runs in the inning, but that is frustrating. Men on the corners, no outs, and you've got 2 productive hitters. And Fattori and Weingartner both go down without advancing a base runner, especially Weingartner. Struggled on Wednesday against Brewster, and now comes out here and is still not looking like himself.
Maldonado up, right-hand batter, as the first pitch. Way inside, nearly hits him. 1-0. 3-0 Harwich, last of the 4th. 2 already in for the home side. Scored 1 run in the first without a hit and were held hitless through the first 3 frames by MJ Seo. Ferguson, the lefty, delivers. Swinging a drive to right field, struck well. Jones racing back, reaches up in front of the warning track and makes the catch. Maldonado, possibly the hardest hit ball of the inning, but Jones able to flag it down and prevent further damage. 2 across for Harwich on 4 hits and 2 costly errors for the Commodores. We go to the 5th. It is 3-0 Harwich on the Harwich Mariner Network.
When you need to be seen for a minor illness or injury, Cape Cod Healthcare Urgent Care is here for you with high-quality, full-service walk-in care. ER expertise meets urgent care convenience at our 6 urgent care centers, which are staffed by board-certified ER providers and located Cape-wide from Falmouth to Orleans. Cape Cod Healthcare Urgent Care is open daily and offers a cost-saving option for everything from sprains to stitches, with timely treatment in under an hour for most patients. View online wait times at capecodhealth.org/urgent care. Cape Cod Healthcare Urgent Care. Minor emergencies, major attention.
3-0 Mariners as we begin the top of the 5th inning. And a new arm for the home side, Danny Macchiarola. The righty at a Holy Cross. So far, it's been an abbreviated Harwich Mariner career, reactivated after being signed to a full contract just a couple of days ago.
Yeah, pitched all the way back on June 21st. That was his debut against Katuitt. Got the start. Things didn't go particularly well. Went just 2 innings. Gave up 5 runs, 3 of them earned on 6 hits in what turned out to be an 18-4 mercy rule loss for the Mariners. That he didn't pitch again, got released shortly after, but due to some injuries and some other factors, Macchiarola back with the Mariners and now taking over after a strong outing from Ryan DeSanto.
Injuries have piled up for the Mariners this month of July, which is part of the reason why they've struggled so much toward the bottom in ERA and in batting average. Hayden LeFew just released today. He's injured. Cole Weisenbaker departed the game prematurely. And on the offensive side of things as well, Bristol Carter just released, and then Henry Godbat has not appeared in the game since Chatham a couple weeks back as Macchiarola's first pitch misses low and inside to Scott Mudler. Left-hand batter, ball 1. Mudler, the catcher out of Oklahoma, out of Johns Creek, Georgia. He awaits the 1-0 and takes a fastball at the bottom of the zone for a strike. So far for Mudler, he is 0 for 1 with the bounce out as the 1-1. Just off the outside corner. Good location for the sinking fastball, and it's 2-1. Macchiarola relies heavily on that slider. His best offering. He likes to work it in any count as the 2-1. Fastball way outside. Took something off there. Might have been a changeup, and it's 3 balls and 1 strike. Macchiarola trying not to put the first man on. First man he faces on base for free as he pours in a 92-mile-an-hour fastball for a strike. It's 3-2. 6, 7, 8. Harwich leading 3-0 as we begin the top of the 5th. The payoff, swinging a foul off of Winslow's left knee guard and trickling off to the right. 3-2. The Commodores with 5 errors and 4 innings in this game. Just a disaster class.
They're lucky that it's only 3-0. Very doable comeback and deficit.
Macchiarola comes home. Payoff misses way outside, ball 4. Didn't threaten the zone, and the first walk of the game allowed by the Mariners leads off the top of the 5th. Up next, Isaiah Barquette. Got the first hit of the game for the Commodores in his first at-bat. Right-hand batter. This past spring at Stetson, playing in 50 games, batting .309. 30 walks to 13 strikeouts. Just dominated for the Hatters as Macchiarola steps off, throws to first. Mudler dives back in safely. Barquette, if he were to reach again, would bring up the tying run. As the first pitch, he squares the bunt, pulls back, and takes an off-speed inside for ball 1. 3 runs, 4 hits, no errors for Harwich. No runs, 2 hits, 5 errors for Falmouth. Top of the 5th inning. Infield double play depth with the leadoff man Mudler on first. The pitch. Breaking ball spins in tight. It's 2-0. Barquette yesterday in the loss to Bourne at home at Gov Fuller for the Commodores. Hitless with a walk and a strikeout. Pedestrian competition for him as the 2-0. Strike 1 call in the inside corner. A fastball at 91 miles an hour.
Barquette not walking at the same level as he did this spring, but still coming into today, 7 free passes compared to 5 strikeouts, so really strong discipline.
The 2-1. Swinging a tapper foul off to the left. Toward the Mariner dugout. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Barquette started his college career at NC State and then transferred to Stetson, a Division II school, during the 2023 offseason. Calls his favorite thing in sports winning as the 2-2 pitch. In the dirt, ball 3. Back-to-back full counts for Macchiarola. Butler leading off at first base, nobody out. 3-0 the Mariners lead in the top of the fifth. Barquette awaits the pitch and grounds one to second. Could be two. Dickinson slings to second for one. Weingartner to first, not in time. That one hit to Dickinson's forehand side, and despite an accurate throw to second and a strong turn to first, no chance to get the trail runner. A fielder's choice, and there's one gone in the fifth for Donovan LaSalle.
It was a hard enough hit, though, where you thought that it could be turned. Excellent speed by Barquette, hustling down the first baseline and avoiding the double play.
Here's Donovan LaSalle now. Mariners up 3 in the top of the fifth, one out. Infield still playing for a pair as Macchiarola steps off, throws to first. Barquette, who is barely off the bag, is in standing. LaSalle, this year against Harwich, hitless in 8 at-bats with 9 at-bats, counting the strikeout earlier this game. Step off, throw to first again. Swipe of the glove by Heyman too late. This time Barquette had to dive back. 1 on, 1 out. The third baseman Ogden playing deep. LaSalle digs in, open stance as the pitch is a fastball for a strike in the outside corner, 0-1. LaSalle knocks some dirt off his orange and white spikes. Orange embellishments, I should say. Rest of the cleat black, matching Oklahoma State. 0-1 misses low, 1 ball, 1 strike. LaSalle, sparse playing time over his first season at Stillwater. Appearing only 8 times with 2 starts. Hoping to get some more reps on the Cape. Struggling so far, a 167 average entering today, which has regressed after the strikeout in his first trip. Macchiarola steps off, fires to first, and Barquette, a conservative lead, dives in safely. Three 0 Mariners, top of the fifth. Looking for their third straight win over Falmouth. The 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss over the top of bowling ball sinker, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Thought process, LaSalle, an aggressive swinger, strikeout leader for the Commodores. Throw something low, you either get a ground ball for a potential double play or you get a swing and miss.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. Just low and inside, couldn't get the call on a front door fastball. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Macchiarola throwing more pitches in this inning to the first 3 hitters than Ryan DeSanto, his predecessor, did his first 2 innings. Check swing on a fastball inside, 3-2. And a third straight full count to begin Macchiarola's day. Harwich 3, Falmouth 0, top of the fifth. Macchiarola gets his sign via pitch com. Tosses the pearly white baseball from his right hand and he steps off, throws to first. Barquette goes scrambling back. Pitch clock ticking down. Danny working out of the stretch. Payoff to LaSalle. Runner goes. Pitch popped high and foul off to the right. Luke Heyman jogs toward the first base dugout but watches it sail beyond the berm. Count still full. Mariners looking to win their third straight over the Commodores after losing back-to-back. First shutout against Brewster, and now hoping to bounce back after another loss to YD, another pickoff move to first. Not nearly in time to get Barquette, who dove back. 1 on, 1 out. Barquette shuffles off the bag. Another payoff pitch. Barquette goes. Pitch is inside, and it hits the rear end of LaSalle, just below his back pocket. A hit batsman, and Barquette advances to second uncontested. 2 on, 1 out, and the tying run up in Jack Bell.
And that brings out R.J. Thomas. Macchiarola is just struggling a bit with control here early. First 3 batters he's faced have all reached safely.
Thomas gathering with Macon, Winslow, and Macchiarola. No other infielders present. This is just between RJ and the 2 of them. Harwich returning home to play the Commodores for the first time in what feels like a week. Started off Monday at Bourne. Won only their second game of the month of July and then lost back-to-back against Brewster and YD. They go on the road again tomorrow at Hyannis. First pitch tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Then finally on Sunday back at White House Field against Orleans. Acurilla sets the first pitch. Just off the outside corner and low to Jack Bell, left-hand batter. 1-0. Mariners 3, Commodores nothing, top of the fifth, but 2 on and 1 out. Tying run up as the 1-0. Swing and miss. One ball, one strike to count. Bell, 2 for 22 to start his season. Popped out in foul ground his first trip. The 1-1. Snap, pitch inside, snap throw to, or fake throw to first from Macon Winslow. Too late. LaSalle went scrambling back to the bag. And the count's 2-1. Barquette at second, LaSalle at first, one man out. Infield playing for 2. Now the pitch. Swinging a chopper back up the middle. Ryan Weingartner's got it. Throws to first, where that's his only play, and it's in time. Out number 2, LaSalle advances to second, and Barquette moves up to third with 2 gone.
You'll take that if you're Macchiarola. Bit unfortunate just because of how that play worked out. And now, 2 runs come home.
And let's see what happened there. Wait, so two runs just came in to score. And nobody's exactly sure why, but allegedly before the ball was taken out of play, a position player tossed the ball haphazardly into the stands, and 2 runs scored. First pitch outside to the leadoff man, Gavin Keelan. So it's 3-2 now. On the most peculiar play we've seen at White House this year, as now the pitch on the outside corner called a strike. Keelan 0 for 2. And that went from a potential double play ball to 2 run scoring on an error as called strike in the outside corner. Ryan Weingartner, the reason why he wasn't able to turn 2 is because he had shaded to the right side of the diamond after being pulled toward the middle at short. The 1-2 in the dirt, knocked down by Winslow. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Gavin Keelan. But we're going to see in the end after what happens is the 2-2 just off the outside corner. Even in center field, Matt Scannell displeased at that call. Multiple Harwich position players started back toward first. Base is empty, 2 men out. The 3-2. Swing hard, ground ball off the glove of Macchiarola. Trickles toward second. Dickinson barehand slings to first. Just in time. Excellent play for the defensively minded second baseman, and the inning is over. But 2-run score on a peculiar play. Potentially a rule Denis 3. As we go to the bottom of the 5th inning, it's 3-2, the Mariners the lead on the Harwich Mariner Network.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
3-2 Harwich. Now just a one-run lead after a weird play that not even the scorer knows what happened here in the press box. Here's the first pitch to Cade Curlin, and he swings and misses out of the left hand of Francis Ferguson. We'll have more updates on that as you get them, but after the play had long drawn to conclusion, home plate umpire Marvick Gomez signaled that not one but two runners score. The 0-1, swing and a miss. 0-2. Mariner DH starting things off in the fifth. Walked in his last time. He stole a base and was stranded at third. Ferguson, the lefty, who winds and throws. Breaking ball low and inside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Curlin robbed of a hit his first time up. Been seeing the ball very well. Choked up 2 inches on his bat. The 1-2. Swinging a chopper out towards short. Keelan charges, fields the backhand, and fires to first in time. Curlin set down. There's 1 gone here in the bottom of the fifth.
And now the Mariners found themselves in an interesting situation, leading by 1 now after the error. So you got to stay composed. Don't let this confusing situation get to you, and keep playing your brand of baseball that put you in the lead in the first place.
3-2 Mariners leading bottom of the fifth. Left on left, Ferguson delivers to Matt Scannell and misses off the outside corner with the breaking ball. 1 ball, no strikes. Scannell, former two-way player at Princeton, as the pitch is a breaking ball snapping inside. It missed.
And that's something
2 balls, no
Ferguson
strikes.
can relate to. He was a two-way player last year, played at Eastern Nazarene, and takes batting practice with the Commodores.
The pitch. Off the outside corner, another easy take for Tank. It's 3-0. 1 out, nobody on. Mariners up 1. As the pitch. Right down Main Street, a 92-mile-an-hour fastball. It's 3-1. The Commodores have made 5 errors in this game, and that's been the difference. As the pitch. Strike 2 called, just above the belt. Scannell nods his head in grudging agreement with home plate umpire Marvick Gomez. The Mariners have not made any errors, rulebook pending, as the 3-2. Swing and a foul. Mariners lead 3-2 in this one in the bottom of the fifth. They trailed 5-1 for much of Game 1 against Falmouth on the road. Ryan Weingartner grand slam. The key moments in that one. Now the payoff. High and tight ball 4. Scannell works the walk, and that's the 5th base on balls issued today for the Commodores pitching staff. 1 on, 1 out for Luke Heyman.
Good sign for Scannell getting back on base. And the inning started in the 4th. 4 straight hits for Harwich off Ferguson before he got 3 straight outs. So you got to keep getting to him, keep chipping away, and keep driving home runs.
The righty Heyman, with much power, digs in. The long holds in the first pitch. Swinging a foul off the hands, a fastball at 91 miles an hour. Popped just over the netting down the right side, 0-1. Heyman has reached base in both times he's up. Only 1 official at bat after he walked the first time and then singled to score a run in that 2-run bottom of the 4th. 3-2 Mariners, 5th inning. Ferguson comes home. Strike 2 call, fastball at 92, bottom of the zone. Scannell at first with speed. 5 stolen bases in 7 tries this year. Heyman homered yesterday, so he's got power and hoping to display more of it here. Infield double play depth. The 0-2 pitch. Swing high, fly ball out toward right center field. Turley races over, makes the call. No, Jones makes the call instead, ranging in into his right, makes the catch, 2 away.
That's been the MO for Luke Heyman, just consistently hitting high fly balls into the outfield. So sure, yeah, the average is low, but the contact is high. There's a reason why the Mariners lead the league in air outs, outs that are caught in the air, not on the ground, because they make good contact. They just get unlucky a lot.
Danny Dickinson digs in. Right-hand batter. Ferguson holds. Scannell leaning off of first. Now he takes off. Pitch is swung on and missed. Here's the throw to second. It is into center field for the third time today. Scannell gets up from second and scampers to third. And they call interference, inning over. A belated signal there. Danny Dickinson, an off-balance swing. And Mudler may have sold it there by firing it into center. Scannell is called out, and the inning is over. So Falmouth avoids a sixth error of the game, and the Mariners are held scoreless. We go to the sixth inning. It is 3-2 Harwich the lead over the Commodores on the Harwich Mariner Network.
Hey Mariners fans, whether you're at White House Field or cheering from home, gear up with some official Harwich Mariners.
3-2 Mariners as we begin the top of the sixth. And just now we have an update on what happened on the fateful play that on which two scored in the top of the fifth. Runners at first and second, one gone in the inning, and a 4-3 put-out moved both up to second and third. That's important because they had now legally occupied third base and second base. The runner at third, who I believe was Isaiah Barquette, came down from the line, and Luke Heyman at first base as the first pitch comes in, and an inside-out flare from Gavin Turley drops into right field, base hit. He just swung at that like he was wielding a cricket bat and popped it right over the head of Heyman. Third hit of the day for the Commodores. Anyway, Heyman, who's now holding on Turley with nobody out, threw to third, and the throw went past Ogden right into the Harwich dugout. Dylan Carey up, squares the bunt, pulls back, and takes inside for ball one. And the rule is that once you've legally occupied a base and a position player throws it out of play, you get awarded two bases automatically from the base you legally last occupied. The 1-0 pitch, squares the bunt, pulls back, takes strike one. So, what I believe will be ruled an E3 scored the only two runs of the game for the Commodores. 6 errors across the two teams. Sepoff fired to first, and Heyman goes leaning toward right field to keep that from going down the line. Turley on first, nobody out. The 1-1. Acchiarola misses inside, 2 balls and 1 strike. So that embellished an already ugly frame, an ugly game as the 2-1 pitch is off the inside corner, 3-1. 5 errors for Falmouth and just as many walks. And yet it's a 1-run game. Harwich has not made them pay dearly enough for it. The 3-1 pitch. Inside, and that glances off of Carey. Hit him in the front hip. So ball 4 ends up turning into a hit by pitch, advancing Turley to second as the tying run with nobody out in the inning. 3-2 Mariners in the top of the sixth.
Acchiarola hasn't had great control so far in his outing. All but 2 batters facing him have reached safely. It's tough against righties with his delivery. Comes in tight there, and it's not stretching across the plate as much as he would like.
Here's the first pitch. Inside. Another arm side miss from Danny Acchiarola, this time to Trent Caraway. Turley on second, Carey on first, nobody out. Jack Bowery getting loose in the Mariner bullpen. The righty comes home. Slider inside again. Something just looks to be off mechanically with Macchiarola. All of his misses have been in off the plate to right-hand batters. Caraway 0 for 2 today. Base hit ties the game. Taps his left foot, awaits the 2-0. Check swing on a ball that hits off of Winslow, trickling to his left, well up the first base side. And that allows both runners to advance. That may have been a cross-up. Winslow looked very perplexed at what happened on that pitch. He just whiffed on it, and it hit off his royal blue shin guard and trickled to the left.
Looks like they're discussing to see whether it hit Caraway's bat, because he had a bit of a check swing, and just the trajectory of the ball looked like it hit off the bat and then off of Winslow. So I think that's what the umpire's discussion is.
And right now, home plate umpire Marvick Gomez getting his hand checked out, or his wrist. And head trainer Amanda Lusky is motioning for some assistance here. It's hard to tell what could have hurt Mr. Gomez.
Maybe the ball hit off his wrist there, and it hit off his wrist instead of Winslow's chest protector.
It sounded like it hit something plasticky. So that could be the shin guard of Winslow, but it also could very well have been the wristwatch of home plate umpire Marvick Gomez. So it's 3-2. Mariners leading in the top of the sixth inning, but 2 on, nobody out for Falmouth, and 2 in scoring position if the ruling stands. Taking a look at our out-of-stadium scoreboard. Out of town is a relative term on the Cape. No two teams more than 40 miles apart. The longest journey really is Wareham to Orleans. Wareham off the Cape has about an hour's drive. Anyway, speaking of Wareham, they're the only game to be finalized so far. 6-1 they lose to Katuitt. And now Katuitt, I believe, has the division lead in the West. Gateman 17-10, Katuitt 18-9. Orleans is leading YD 4-0. Red Sox getting shut out. 2 errors in the game, along with only 3 hits. YD, the East
are providing some trouble for the potential trouble for the Mariners. A win here could move them a game back if Harwich loses. So Firebirds, who seemed like they were sitting bottom dwellers in the East Division, have suddenly stirred up some importance in regard to the Mariners.
It feels like empirically between the Mariners and Commodores, Mariners have always been on the higher level of the two teams, but by the end of today, if the Commodores find a way to win this one, they'll have the same record. And that's a sobering reminder for a squad that has struggled so mightily this month of July. They're still in the playoff picture because of Orleans, how rocky of a start that they got off to. But if the Firebirds hang on, they've just extended their lead to 5-0. So if they hang on and Harwich loses, all of a sudden they're tied, or very close to being tied, for last place in the East. Orleans has played substantially better baseball over this past stretch. They've dug the biggest hole, but the Mariners have the biggest shovel. While losing back-to-back games, returning home to White House, leading 3-2, but the tying run on third base, nobody out, as we're still in an intermission here, waiting for home plate umpire to being tended to. We might get a new umpire. Taking a look at the next 3 games for the Mariners. Just going to give you a quick preview of the schedule. Tonight, they host the Falmouth Commodores. Tomorrow, they go on the road to face the Hyannis Harbor Hawks for the final time this year at McKeon Park. That's the first game. Second, at home against Orleans on the 21st, 5:30 p.m. first pitch on Sunday. An off day Monday, and then facing Bourne at home on Tuesday. Next 3 games at Hyannis versus Orleans and versus Bourne that 4th day after the off day Monday. So we're still waiting. We might have a changing of the guard in the way of umpires, as we'll take a quick break. It's 3-2 Harwich the lead in the top of the 6th on the Harwich Mariner Network.
Get ready for big results with our small machines. With more power, performance, comfort, and savings. They're ready for every job. And we're ready with plenty of inventory, the best support in the business, same-day parts availability, and locations across the Northeast. So you can always be ready to work. Milton Cat, always ready.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
Hey Mariners fans, whether you're at White House Field or cheering from home, gear up with some official Harwich Mariners merchandise. Order online or visit our booth behind home plate. See you soon, and roll NERS.
Get ready for big results with our small machines. With more power, performance, comfort, and savings. They're ready for every job. And we're ready with plenty of inventory, the best support in the business, same-day parts availability, and locations across the Northeast. So you can always be ready to work. Milton Cat, always ready.
Another peculiar turn of events has interrupted things in the top of the sixth. It's 3-2 Harwich the lead. And we have a new home plate umpire. Marvick Gomez took a ball off his hand, so he's gone. He is departed after being escorted out by Amanda Lusky, Harwich's head trainer. He's been replaced by Mike Hinojosa, who is strapped into behind-the-plate gear for umpires. And we have reduced to a two-man crew. Play set to resume shortly. Danny Macchiarola getting stretched out. He allowed a bloop single and a hit batsman to begin the frame. Now runners at second and third. Turley the lead runner and Carey the trailer. Falmouth a chance to move ahead despite committing 5 errors in the game so far.
Pretty crazy to think about it, given that Harwich has had plenty of chances to really pull away, but got to give credit to Falmouth, who has played tough and, looked kind of ugly early on with all the errors, but very much still in this game. One swing of the bat here from a talented hitter in Caraway could put you in front.
So Macchiarola, after losing his control, a chance to reset. Got really knocked around in his first outing as a Mariner, after which he was released. Brought back just a couple of days ago in the wake of some unexpected departures due to injury. Macchiarola in relief of Ryan DeSanto, who threw 4 innings, allowing 2 hits without a run. 4 strikeouts, no walks, looking much more like himself after getting knocked around against Hyannis.
Yeah, that's why that outing against the Harbor Hawks was so surprising, because DeSanto has been really good. He's essentially been the ace this year for the Mariners, so good to see him get back on track and back to the Ryan DeSanto that is heading to Happy Valley in the fall.
So 3 balls, no strikes, the count for Trent Caraway, who comes in. Runners at second and third, nobody out. The lead runner, Turley, is the tying runner, reached on a single, as the pitch is blasted high and deep to center field. Scannell angles underneath it toward the warning track, backpedals to make the catch. Both runners tag. Turley trots home and scores to tie the game, and Carey advances to third with one away. It's 3-3 here in the sixth inning. And the Doors a chance to go ahead without a hit.
And it looked like actually Scannell lost the ball at first. He had his hands out in a bit of a shrug, wondering where the ball was. But that's exactly what Gavin Turley does. Green light, 3-0 pitch, smashes it to center field. And just like that, the Commodores, despite the 5 errors, have tied the game up.
So now Jason Jones with the go-ahead run at third. He takes a first pitch slider for a strike. No balls and one strike. The whole infield's brought in. 3-4 with toes on the grass as the 0-1. Way outside, great cat-like reflexes from Macon Winslow, diving to his backhand side. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Harwich playing conservatively amidst the dearth of offense despite a tie game, the 1-1. Swinging a foul off to the right. A lot of game left. Still in the top of the sixth inning, but the Mariner offense has dwindled. All 4 hits coming in that fourth inning, in which they scored 2 runs, but they needed 2 errors to help them do that. Here's the set. The righty Macchiarola comes home, swinging a smash out to deep left center field. Scannell racing after it, tracks it down to make the one-hand catch. Jason Jones puts a charge into that. Dylan Carey tags from third and scores. 2 straight sac flies give the Doors the lead. It's 4-3.
Couldn't have executed it better if you were the Commodores. First 2 men reach, and then you get that advance on the wild pitch that took Marvick Gomez out of the game. And next 2 batters, Caraway and Jones, bring home those 2 runs. And just like that, Danny Macchiarola's day is done.
So he likely will be lifted from this game. And Jack Bowery's coming in, the lefty out of Northeastern. It's 4-3. Falmouth has taken the lead with 2 outs and nobody on, still in this everlasting sixth inning on the Harwich Mariner Network.
When you need to be seen for a minor illness or injury, Cape Cod Healthcare Urgent Care is here for you with high-quality, full-service walk-in care. ER expertise meets urgent care convenience at our 6 urgent care centers, which are staffed by board-certified ER providers and located Cape-wide from Falmouth to Orleans. Cape Cod Healthcare Urgent Care is open daily and offers a cost-saving option for everything from sprains to stitches, with timely treatment in under an hour for most patients. View online wait times at capecodhealth.org/urgent care. Cape Cod Healthcare Urgent Care. Minor emergencies, major attention.
Jack Bowery in for the Mariners, the lefty out of Northeastern. It's 4-3. 2 outs, bases empty still in this top of the sixth inning. And Scott Mudler, the lefty, up against Bowery. And Bowery's first man he faces. Danny Macchiarola threw 1 2/3 of an inning. Although it was run out over a pretty substantial stretch of time as the first pitch misses down and outside to the Falmouth catcher. 1-0. Bowery out of the windup. Comes home. Just off the outside corner, a fastball, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. 2 scored in each of the last 2 frames for the Commodores, 1 on a throwing error and another on 2 sac flies as the 2-0. Off the outside corner, 3-0.
And Bowery started the season as a starter, but has since transitioned to the bullpen and has had 2 really solid outings coming out of the pen.
The 3-0 pitch. Inside ball 4. 4 pitches and a walk issued to Mudler. Second free 90 feet of the game, and the go-ahead runs on for Isaiah Barquette.
Number 6, Isaiah Barquette.
4-3, Mariners trailing for the first time this game. Chance to answer back they would have. 7-8-9 due up. Bottom of the order up against Francis Ferguson, or whoever else Falmouth brings in for the bottom of the 6th inning. Here in the top half, here's Barquette. Reach base twice, once in a fielder's choice, as the pitch is a strike called in the top part of the zone. 0-1. Barquette twirls the bat a couple of times, digs in. Striped stirrup socks pulled up to just below his knees. Now the 0-1. Check swing and a called strike 1. Or a called strike 2, 0-2. Infield's playing back. Matt Scannell in center is shaded over toward Barquette's opposite side. The pitch on the way. Way outside with the breaking ball. Mudler at first with 2 men out. 4-3. Falmouth the lead. Barquette, even stance, and he's bent, awaits the 1-2, and hits one high in the air to deep left center field. Far to his, toward the alleyway. Fattori makes the call in, the one-hand catch, inning over. Barquette goes down, and after what feels like an eternity, the top of the 6th is drawn to conclusion. Doors scored 2 on 2 sac flies to take the lead. It's 4-3 going to the bottom half on the Harwich Mariner Network.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win, because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
Four-3 Commodores the lead at White House in the bottom of the 6th inning. Francis Ferguson, the lefty, is still on the mound facing the 7-8-9. Beginning with the right-hand batting, Jake Ogden. Commodores and Mariners, 2 teams most struggling on the Cape this month. Mariners have 2 wins in 14 matchups. And the Commodores, as part of a 1-11 road record, have the lead against all odds, it seems like.
You can say that again, Carson. I don't think there's many teams who, if you commit 5 errors in the first 5 innings, that you're expecting to be leading the game. And this has just been, over the month of July, almost a typical Harwich game where the opportunities are there, but they just can't capitalize.
First up, Jake Ogden, who homered in his first time seeing the Commodores. Right-handed batter with power. Out of the windup, Ferguson comes home. Swinging a high fly ball to shallow right. Bell going out, but Jones, parked underneath it, makes the one-hand grab. Put out for the Commodores right fielder. 1 gone here in the 6th.
And Ferguson, he came in the 4th, allowed 4 straight hits. Since then has allowed just 1 batter to reach safely, really settled in nicely, and it also helps that his team has put up some runs offensively.
4-3 Mariners trailing as the first pitch to Macon Winslow is a breaking ball in the inside corner for a called strike 1. Winslow yesterday played in left field. First time this year he's done so, as the 0-1 is a high chopper up the third base side. Barehanded in foul ground by Caraway, who reached far to his backhand side with the bare hand, and it's 0-2. Winslow 0 for 3 yesterday with a walk and 2 strikeouts. Reached base twice. First on a walk and then on a bloop single. 1 out, nobody on. Winslow taking his time to dig into the right-hand batter's box. Catcher and outfielder out of Duke. We might see him in the outfield more often with the new catcher just activated today in Wilson Weber. Now the 0-2 pitch. Winslow checks his swing on a back foot slider. He moved his back foot out of the way as he did so, and that saves a bruise, but saves Falmouth with the base runner. 1-2. The pitch on the way. In the dirt. Underneath the glove of Mudler on a breaking ball. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The new home plate umpire, Mike Hinojosa, rubs up a new baseball and deposits it in his side pocket. Now the 2-2 from Ferguson. Swinging a foul straight back. Good adjustment to the high fastball. Making Winslow hanging in there. This has been a game of eccentricities and wily substitutions. Hinojosa, the new home plate umpire, due to injury, however. Home plate umpire Marvick Gomez departed earlier last frame as the 2-2 pitch is up and away. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Took a foul ball or a wild pitch off his hand. So he's done. 2-man crew for the duration of this evening. The payoff, swinging a high pop fly again to shallow right. This time the second baseman Bell backpedals, gives way to Jones at the last moment, who makes the catch 2 away.
Winslow did a solid job fighting back in that count. Looked like he was going to go down early, but climbed back, and Ferguson ended up winning the battle. Another fly out to right. Jason Jones has been extremely busy in right.
4-3, Mariners trailing, bottom of the 6th. All 4 hits have come in the 4th inning. And despite 5 errors and 5 walks by Falmouth, as the pitch is a breaking ball up and away to Vince Vittori, ball 1. Despite the 5 walks and 5 errors, Harwich down by a run. The 1-0 pitch, Vittori swings and misses. Half-hearted cut at a breaking ball at his back foot, 1-1.
And believe it or not, Vittori, which is even more surprising given the deficit, is the only one that hasn't reached base safely for Harwich.
The 1-1. Swinging a pop-up to the right side, foul. Barquette gives chase. He runs out of room and watches it land on the top of the grassy berm. 1-2. Mariners have lost back-to-back games, looking to avoid losing 3 in a row and beginning another losing streak. They just snapped a 9-gamer earlier this month as the 1-2 is up and away. That came with a win at Bourne earlier this week. Struggling on both sides of the ball. Today it's the pitching staff. Yesterday it was the offense. The 2-2, Vittori takes up and away, ball 3. 2 in each of the past 2 frames for Falmouth. They lead 4-3 at White House in the bottom of the 6th. Base is empty, 2 men out. The payoff coming to Vittori. Swinging a smash foul. Rolled up the third base side. Count remains full.
And Vittori has won most of these battles this year. Shown great discipline. Struck out swinging in the second, but expect him not to chase anything outside of the zone.
Another payoff pitch. Way up and outside, ball 4. So Vittori, the 9th Harwich starter to reach base on the 6th walk allowed by the Commodores. 2 outs and now a man at first for Ryan Weingartner.
And that's more the reason why Vittori is atop the team, or towards the top in on-base percentage. He walks a lot, gets on base. May not be the flashiest player, but he does his job when called upon.
4-3, Mariners trailing, bottom of the 6th inning. First pitch to Weingartner. The righty takes in tight with the fastball at 92 miles an hour, ball 1. Vittori, a judicious base runner, but a capable one. Leading off of first with Barquette holding. Here's the 1-0. Swinging a foul tip into the glove of Mudler, 1-1. Weingartner reached on an error to begin the offensive day for the Mariners and scored on a wild pitch. No hits through the first 3 frames as the 1-1 swing and a miss. The offense has been such a struggle for the Mariners, scoring 3 today, more than the past 2 games combined. The 1-2. Swing and a miss in and out of the glove of the catcher, Mudler. The home plate umpire signaled foul tip, and it popped out of the glove of Mudler, but I think there was ultimately no debate that it was a swinging strike. Mudler dropped it and then tagged out Weingartner before he was the wiser. So no hits, or no runs, no hits, a walk, and a man left for the Mariners. They trail 4-3 as we go to the 7th. Skylar Wilkes will take the play-by-play. It's 4-3, Falmouth the lead on the Harwich Mariner Network.
Hey Mariners fans, whether you're at White House Field or cheering from home, gear up with some official Harwich Mariners merchandise. Order online or visit our booth behind home plate. See you soon, and roll NERS.
Top of the 7th from White House Field, Mariners trailing the Commodores 4-3. Skylar Wilkes alongside Carson Trail. Thanks so much for joining us here on this Friday night. Mariners in the red jerseys, which is tradition here on the Cape. Jack Bowery in for his first full inning of work after taking over for Danny Macchiarola. Went an inning and 2/3, giving up 4 runs, 2 of them earned on 1 hit. Donovan LaSalle leads things off for the Commodores. First pitch swinging, popped up behind home plate towards the Commodores dugout. Winslow with his mask in his hand tosses it aside, and it's the first baseman, Luke Heyman, who came out of nowhere to make the catch as he tumbled to the ground. The catcher by trade showing off the glove there, running all the way from his post at first to make the catch.
Field general taking charge nicely there. He was playing back, and he had to come a long way, covering a lot of foul ground to ultimately lunge forward and make the catch before going into a slide.
Bowery walked a batter and then got a fly out in the 6th. Starts the at-bat with a called strike to Jack Bell. 0 for 2 with a fly out and a ground out. 0-1. Just off the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And that one just missed. One of the new things about a new home plate umpire is you get a new strike zone.
1-1. Bell backs out of the batter's box as Bowery misses high. Pitched in Harwich's last win on Monday against Bourne. Final 2 innings of the game. Gave up 1 run on 1 hit with no walks and a strikeout. 2-1. Bell smacks it foul. Third base side out of play. Count even at 2 apiece. If you're just joining us, it's a 2-man umpire crew after Marvick Gomez, the home plate umpire, got hit on a wild pitch. So Mike Hinojosa calling balls and strikes. 2-2 from Bowery. And it's nubbed foul towards the Harwich dugout third base side. 2-2 to Bell. Falmouth leading 4-3, looking for its second road victory of the season. First over the Mariners. 2-2. Bowery kicks and deals. And it drops in the dirt. Full count to Bell.
And Bell has been out of the batter's box by the time the breaking ball starts to break, starting it at him. And he's walked toward first.
Full count. A ball outside. Near miss from Jack Bowery. Jack Bell works the 1-out walk. The third earned by the Commodores today, second issued by Bowery.
And Bell's not a guy you wanted to lose. 2 hits and 23 official at-bats entering today. Now he's on base for the top of the order.
Gavin Keelan ready to go for the 4th time. Flies it up in the air. shallow center field. It's the shortstop, Ryan Weingartner. Backtracking it. Had to stop in his tracks and look over his head to make sure he caught that baseball in shallow left center field. So one pitch at bat to Keelan, 2 gone for Falmouth.
Nice little pop fly. Weingartner able to backpedal and take charge there. Would have been far too much ground to cover for Matt Scannell. Runner stays at first. Crucial insurance run for the Doors.
Bell on first, 2 outs in the top of the 7th. It's Gavin Turley ready to go in the batter's box. Single to lead things off in the 6th. Bowery steps off, throws back to first, keeping an eye on Bell, who is 1 for 2 on stolen bases this summer after taking 3 in the spring at Texas A&M. Still awaiting the first pitch of Turley. Another throwback to Heyman. 2 checks on Bell already. Two stolen bases for the Commodores. First pitch. Turley rips it foul right at the Falmouth dugout. Nearly hit a member of the Commodores' potential training staff. Everyone is safe, though, and it's 0-1 to Turley, who flew out to left in the first, flew out to center in the 4th on a sliding grab from Matt Scannell, and then singled and scored in the 6th. 4-3 Commodores lead, 2 outs in the top of the 7th. Both runs, all 4 runs for Falmouth have come in the last 2 frames. 0-1, and another check by Bowery on Bell, who slides in head first. Still 0-1 to Turley. Bowery set with the glove at his belt. Checks it, Bell now pitches low. A ball and a strike. As this game has really slowed down following the untimely departure of Marvick Gomez. 1-1 to Turley. Waves at it. And Mike Hinojosa says he went. 1-2. 2 outs in the top of the 7th. Bowery is 6th game of the year, 3rd out of the bullpen. 1-2. And it's smacked back foul into the netting. 1-2 to Turley with 2 outs here in the top of the 7th.
And for the most part, Bowery's been able to keep Turley off balance. That went off the end of the bat. Pitch before a lunging effort to get to it.
4 pitches, 3 pickoff attempts. Bowery, long hold, and the check on Bell. High throw to Heyman. Runner slides in, head first, safe. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs to Turley. Falmouth leading 4-3 in the top of the 7th. Bowery the pitch as Bell takes off. Swing and a miss. Gets Gavin Turley on the breaking ball. And after 2 straight innings with 2 runs, the Commodores only get 1 base runner. A walk, nothing more, but still in front 4-3. Heading to stretch time here at White House Field, bottom of the 7th, coming up on the Harwich Mariner Network.
Get ready for big results with our small machines. With more power, performance, comfort, and savings. They're ready for every job. And we're ready with plenty of inventory, the best support in the business, same-day parts availability, and locations across the Northeast. So you can always be ready to work. Milton Cat, always ready.
Top of the 7th, and a new pitcher on the mound for the Commodores. He was with the team earlier in the summer and was released and now back. It's the righty Peter Phillips out of Fairfield, in for his 3rd appearance of the summer with the Commodores. He's pitched just an inning and a third, and that closes the line on what was rocky at first but turned into a solid outing from Francis Ferguson. Went 3 innings, giving up 2 runs on 4 hits with 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, and is in position for the win right now. Phillips looking to keep the Mariners at bay, who haven't scored since the 4th inning. Haven't had a hit since the 4th inning either. Just 2 batters reached since then. 2 walks from Ferguson. It's 2-3-4, starting with Cam Maldonado. First pitch of the night from Phillips. Ball low at the knees. 2 Connecticut guys going at it. Both from around the same area. Both played for the same summer ball team, except in 2 different years, as Maldonado pops it back foul. Peter Phillips was a teammate, actually, of former Harwich Mariner and first-round pick this year by the Twins, Kalen Culpepper, in 2021 with the Norwich Sea Unicorns, before Maldonado played at Dodd Stadium the next year in 2022. Ended up winning the home run derby as well. 1-1. Maldonado flares it right into the glove of the first baseman Barquette. Looked like it had enough height off the bat, but ends up with the first out of the inning.
And again, the approach on Maldonado is do not let him get his arms extended. Fastball boring it on the hands. Maldonado trying to go inside out anyway. Just not enough barrel on it to get it over the first baseman Barquette.
1 gone. Cade Curlin takes his strong crouch in the right-handed batter's box. Saws it off the end of the bat into center field. Coming on is Turley. Sped up, slowed down, made the catch. So a 1-pitch at bat for Cade Curlin and a quick 2 outs for Harwich.
And there has not been a lot of loud contact this game. Even what is sounding good off the bat is just carried into a glove of a Commodores defender. All 4 hits for the Mariners coming in the 4th inning. They've not had one before, and they've not had one since.
Matt Scannell looking to change that. He's 0 for 2 with 2 flyouts and a walk. Showing bunt. Pulls it back as Phillips whips in a strike. 0-1. Scannell in his 2nd game against Falmouth. 1 for 7 in the previous 2. Takes the ball off the plate. 1-1. This is a Commodore team that is last in the league in ERA, tied with Harwich for the most earned runs. He's given up just 3 so far and 4 hits. The 1-1. Down and outside. 2 balls and a strike to Scannell. 4 runs, 3 hits, 5 errors for the Commodores. 3 runs, 4 hits, and an error for Harwich. 2-1 to Scannell. Fouls it off the catcher, Mudler, who took a quick crouch, now gets back to his feet. It looked like it might have careened off his mask.
And he's open and closing his left hand. It may have caught him in the wrist. Not wearing an Evo shield or any sort of protection on that arm. Seems to be all right, though. Fortunately, not another situation like home plate umpire Marvick Gomez.
Carson Bowen would probably be the next catcher out of the dugout for Falmouth if Mudler couldn't go. They've been splitting reps ever since Mudler's arrival. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs to Scannell. The delivery looped in the air, shallow right field. Jones calls it off, lays to the ground, and he can't make the catch. It hits the ground. Scannell on his way to second. He's in there standing up with a pop-up 2-out double. First base hit for the Mariners since the 4th inning, and it comes from who else but Matt Scannell.
And it's a line drive on the box score, right? Just a little pop-up that dropped. Jones came racing in, dove for it, and Belt trying to get out of the way, nearly took him out with the slide. Heyman up now. Chance to pick up his 2nd RBI in as many games to tie it.
And can do it against his former team. Heyman spent 17 games with Falmouth last summer. Had a .250 average with 2 homers, 9 RBIs. Is 1 for 2 so far today. First pitch is a fastball. right down the pipe, 0-1. Scannell showed off his speed a little bit there, legging out that double. 5 stolen bases on the summer. 0-1. Phillips the look and the pitch. And that's ripped right at third. Trent Caraway, to use Carson's term, with cat-like reflexes, snared the ball without even a second look. And Luke Heyman robbed of a potential RBI situation. A hit for Harwich, but nothing more. One man left on. And the Mariners trailing 4-3, heading to the 8th on Cape League TV.
When you need to be seen for a minor illness or injury, Cape Cod Healthcare Urgent Care is here for you with high-quality, full-service walk-in care. ER expertise meets urgent care convenience at our 6 urgent care centers, which are staffed by board-certified ER providers and located Cape-wide from Falmouth to Orleans. Cape Cod Healthcare Urgent Care is open daily and offers a cost-saving option for everything from sprains to stitches, with timely treatment in under an hour for most patients. View online wait times at capecodhealth.org/urgent care. Cape Cod Healthcare Urgent Care. Minor emergencies, major attention.
We hit the 8th inning from White House Field. Commodores looking to hold on to a 4-3 lead over the Mariners. With Carson Trail to my right, Skylar Wilkes. Happy to have you with us on this Friday night. Jack Bowery going for his second full inning of work. Deals a first pitch strike to Dylan Carey. 0-1 to the Falmouth DH, who is 1 for 2. Was hit by a pitch last time up in the 6th. 0-1. Chop to second, Dickinson fields it, quick snap throw over to Heyman. 1 gone for the Commodores.
Tricky play for Dickinson. Unfortunately, he did not rush that throw. Very smooth transfer from glove hand to throwing hand, and a quick sling in time. Plenty of time, actually, to get carried by a couple of steps.
And you had said, Carson, before the game, off air, about how smooth Dickinson is defensively. And you can tell he is just about as good as they come, which is why he's taken his talents to Baton Rouge. Bowery nicks the top right corner of the zone on a first pitch strike to Trent Caraway. Drove home the tying run on a sac fly in the 6th. Bowery tries to go back to the well, this time just high. 1-1. Side that, Caraway struck out swinging in the 4th, flew out to center in the 2nd. 1-1. Looks at a called strike, and Bowery had 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out in the top of the 8th. Working quickly, kicks and deals. That's slapped out into center field in front of Scannell. Trent Caraway reaches on his first base hit of the game. So Falmouth has a runner on with 1 out.
Big insurance run on first base. Caraway, not known to be a base stealer, but I would not be surprised if they try to put something on Macon Winslow here.
1 stolen base this summer for Caraway after taking 4 in the spring at Oregon State. He's on first with a very small lead, and Bowery misses high and outside to Jason Jones, responsible for the leading run out that sac fly in the 6th. Has had nearly an identical day to Trent Caraway. This one's on the ground to third, backhanded by Ogden. Over to Dickinson at second, throw to first, around the horn. 5-4-3 double play to perfection. And just like that, the side is retired for Falmouth. Ogden to Dickinson to Heyman. And Jack Bowery prevents another run from crossing for the Commodores. Gave up a hit, but nothing more. Mariners running out of chances, looking to do some damage on offense, trailing 4-3, heading to the bottom of the 8th on Cape League TV.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
Mariners down to their last 6 outs. Looking to put something together. Falmouth bullpen had one little blip in the fourth. That was Francis Ferguson, but he's now in position for the win. Peter Phillips in for his second inning of work in relief. Faced 4 batters in the 7th, gave up a double, but that was about it.
I'm looking at the box score, and I'm thinking to myself, whoever looks at this and wasn't here at the game is they're not going to know what happened. 5 errors for the Commodores, and a plethora of other weird outcomes today, including an injured umpire and a ball thrown into the dugout.
Danny Dickinson, check swing foul. 5 errors, 4 hits, 4 runs, so more errors than both runs and hits. Harwich 3 runs, 5 hits, and an error. But that one error by Luke Heyman proved costly, brought him 2 runs in the 5th. 0-1 to Dickinson, who is 1 for 2. Fastball down, 1-1. Was called out on a batter's interference in the 5th. Got in the way of catcher Scott Mudler trying to throw out Matt Scannell. 1-1. Dickinson flips it foul. Has struggled now down to 167 on the year after hitting 367 in the spring at Utah Valley. Went to Team USA and hasn't been quite as productive as you'd expect since his return. 1-2. Another knock foul. Almost same location. Ball and 2 strikes to Dickinson with no outs in the bottom of the 8th.
And you can count the number of hits he's had on one hand since he's gotten back. Typically when you get a player of this caliber returning to a roster, it's more of a shot in the arm.
Similar to Falmouth with Zion Rose. Not in the lineup today, went 2 for 5 yesterday with a home run. 1-2, and that is strike 3. Danny Dickinson rung up looking for the first out of the inning.
Number 2, Ogden.
Turns over to Jake Ogden. 1 for 3. Had that RBI double in the 4th, last run scored by Harwich. Whiffs at a slider outside. 0-1 to the Harwich third baseman. Turned a great double play at the top half of the frame. That RBI was his 15th of the season, 5th against Falmouth. 0-1. Down and in. A ball and a strike with 1 out in the bottom of the 8th. Harwich trailing 4-3. It's the 7-hitter Jake Ogden. 1-1. Fans at another off-speed pitch. A ball and 2 strikes. With Macon Winslow waiting on deck for the Mariners. Trying to avoid a 3rd straight loss. The 1-2. Just low. Good framing effort from catcher Scott Mudler. But instead they count even at 2 apiece. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. The pitch from Phillips. Ogden smacks it high in the air. Shallow right field. Called off by second baseman Jack Bell. Makes the catch for the 2nd out.
And another pop-up, routine as can be. A lot of balls hit in the air for the Mariners tonight, and that's traditionally their strength, but none of them have been hit hard. None of them have been really all that convincing.
2 gone for Macon Winslow. 1 for 2. Pitch from Phillips. Just hits the top of the zone, 0-1.
And Mariner hitters behind in the count again. They are the worst team in the league when they are down 0-1, 1-2, 0-2, behind.
Winslow on the ground to second. Bell scoops it with ease. Double clutch. And Barquette keeps his foot on the bag. Peter Phillips this time goes 1-2-3 as the Harwich order retired 1-2-3 for the first time today. Heading to the 9th, Falmouth looking to either create some separation or just cling to this 4-3 lead. Heading to the final inning, or what could be our final inning of baseball here on the Harwich Mariner Network.
Hey Mariners fans, whether at White House Field or cheering from home, gear up with some official Harwich Mariners merchandise. Order online or visit our booth behind home plate. See you soon, and roll NERS.
Time for the 9th inning. Another close matchup between the Commodores and the Mariners. Skylar Wilkes, Carson Trail with you as Falmouth clinging to a 4-3 lead over Harwich. 4 runs on 4 hits, 5 errors. Jack Bowery done a solid job in relief of Danny Macchiarola. 2 full innings of work, just 1 hit, 2 walks, no runs allowed. 6, 7, 8, Scott Mudler in the left-handed batter's box. Takes the ball low and outside, 1-0. Bowery takes a long time to receive the signs. Now comes out with the glove at his chin. Tucks it down and fires. That's a near miss from Bowery. 2 balls, no strikes to Mudler. Started his collegiate career at Northwest Florida State College before transferring to Oklahoma. There's a called strike, 2-1. Mudler hit .359 at the JUCO level in 2023 before transferring to Norman. 2-1. Bounce to second. Dickinson moves to his left. Soft throw, off balanced. Completes it to Heyman for the first out of the inning.
Couple of nice savvy plays in the past 2 innings for Danny Dickinson. That one gliding calmly over to his left, playing the high hop and not trying to do too much with the throw.
The run support hasn't been there for the Harwich offense. The defense, only 1 error. That was back in the 5th, Luke Heyman. But everything else has been solid. Bowery deals a first pitch strike to Isaiah Barquette. 1 for 3 so far, after a fly out to left in the 6th. Second pitch brings him to a knee as he pokes it back foul. Bowery quickly ahead 0-2. One out in the top of the 9th. Commodores are the lone team in the league yet to beat the Mariners. Now just standing 3 outs away. No balls, 2 strikes. 1 out, Bowery the pitch. Punched into the ground. Bowery comes off the mound, fields it, underhand toss to Heyman, just beats out Barquette. Made a great effort down the first baseline. 2 gone for Falmouth as Jack Bowery decides to take matters into his own hands.
Yeah, weak contact on the ground ball. Great job by Bowery. Coming off the mound in a ready position, easily making his way toward the first base side, opposite the direction he fell, being a lefty. Jogging toward first again, not rushing it, just going for accuracy instead of speed with the throw.
Bowery looks like a completely different pitcher coming out of the bullpen. Donovan LaSalle skies it in the air, shallow right field, called off by the second baseman, Danny Dickinson, who makes the catch. So a quick 1-2-3 inning from Bowery. And it's time for the bottom of the ninth. Mariners looking to either walk it off for the first time this season or push it to extras. You won't want to miss it right here on Cape League TV.
Get ready for big results with our small machines. With more power, performance, comfort, and savings. They're ready for every job. And we're ready with plenty of inventory, the best support in the business, same-day parts availability, and locations across the Northeast. So you can always be ready to work. Milton Cat, always ready.
Bottom of the ninth, Mariners looking to at least push this to extras or walk it off. They'll face Gavin Wilhelm, the righty out of D2 Washburn. In for his second appearance of the season. His debut, he went an inning and 2/3 and picked up the save with a walk and 2 strikeouts. It's 9-1-2 up for Harwich, starting with Vince Vittori. In the right-handed batter's box, he's 0 for 2. First pitch of the game from Wilhelm is a fastball snapped in outside corner, 0-1. So Peter Phillips, 2 innings, no runs, 1 hit, no walks, and a strikeout. Gives away to Wilhelm, 0-1. Swing and miss from Vittori. Quickly behind, no balls, 2 strikes.
He is slinging it despite standing only 5'10", 170 pounds. That one clocked on our stadium, got 95 miles an hour.
0-2, Wilhelm kicks and deals. Vittori sends it in the air, right field towards the Falmouth bullpen, lands safely. Count remains 0-2. Wilhelm, a tremendous athlete, not only plays baseball at Washburn, but also football. He's a kicker, and he plays golf. So doing it all.
Chip shot can be used cross sports terminology-wise.
0-2 to Vittori. Swing and a miss. Blows it by him at 97 miles per hour. I don't think his field goal attempt has ever gone that fast. 1 gone for the Mariners.
From Penn State, number 2, Ryan Weingartner.
Washburn, Wilhelm had a 11.02 ERA in 13 games at Washburn this spring with 0 saves, but Jeff Trundy has found something. Ball low and outside to Ryan Weingartner, top of the order for Harwich. Weingartner in the right-handed batter's box for the 5th time. He's 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts. 1-0. Bad miss from Wilhelm got past Mudler. 2-0. So back to the top of the order. Weingartner here, Maldonado on deck. Weingartner has had success much of the season in the previous two matchups against Falmouth. 3 for 6. 2-0. That one is a rope to left field by the glove of Keelan, and Ryan Weingartner hitless no longer today. A much-needed one-out base knock for the Mariners.
All over the fastball. Couldn't quite get the barrel to it, but still hit it more than hard enough to get it past the shortstop Keelan. Their first and only hit that's not in the fourth inning.
6th hit of the ball game.
Second hit, not in the fourth inning.
Can't forget the double from Matt Scannell. Cam Maldonado a chance to play hero. He's 0 for 3. A line out, 2 flyouts, and a walk. Weingartner definitely a threat to run. 8 stolen bases on the season. Maldonado bounces it to third, cut off by Caraway. He fields it, throw to first, and Maldonado beats it out. Caraway took a long time to get rid of it, and you got to use all time given to you to try to beat out the fleet-footed Cam Maldonado.
I think he knew it was a base hit off the bat, chopping it right into the ground way too fast for the third baseman Caraway to have a play on him. And with Weingartner already near second base, no chance to go the short way either.
Number 11,
Cade Curland, one of the newer Mariners, has already gone deep once this season. That was on Monday against Bourne. Then on first and second, 1 out. Curland 0 for 3 so far with a walk. Maldonado on first, Weingartner on second. And the pitch from Wilhelm is a strike, middle part of the zone. So really solid speed on the base pass for Harwich.
And a solid hitter, used to seeing this upper end velocity with his 2 years spent in the SEC with Florida.
0-1. That's lined right at Caraway. The dive back from Weingartner, and he's out! Game-ending double play. Ryan Weingartner, for the third time in the last week, has been caught on the bases. And the Falmouth Commodores score 4 unanswered to knock off the Mariners for the first time this season. Lined right at the third baseman Caraway, tossed it back to the second baseman Bell, and Weingartner had come too far off the bag, and just like that, the Commodores hand the Mariners their third straight loss with a 4-3 victory in one of the most interesting games you'll see all summer. Quite the happening, and we're about to break it all down for you. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with the Harwich Mariner postgame show.
When you need to be seen for a minor illness or injury, Cape Cod Healthcare Urgent Care is here for you with high-quality, full-service walk-in care. ER expertise meets urgent care convenience at our 6 urgent care centers, which are staffed by board-certified ER providers and located Cape-wide from Falmouth to Orleans. Cape Cod Healthcare Urgent Care is open daily and offers a cost-saving option for everything from sprains to stitches, with timely treatment in under an hour for most patients. View online wait times at capecodhealth.org/urgent care. Cape Cod Healthcare Urgent Care. Minor emergencies, major attention.
So in a game of interesting fashion, the Mariners fall to the Commodores by a score of 4-3. 5 errors in the game for the Commodores and came away with the victory. It seemed like things were all trending in the right direction for Harwich, but then it just slipped away.
Yeah, it's one thing for an opposing team to give you chances. It's another to make some of your own. And the Mariners, who were hitless through the first 3 innings, still scored a run, but that was on walks, wild pitches, and errors only. So they were gifted many opportunities, literally gifted. And then they could not cash in the opportunities that they created themselves. Runners at the corners, 1 man out, and 2 runs already in. Could not score, 3 unproductive outs. And then it really felt like momentum shifted after that. Like in the top of the 5th inning, 2 runs scoring on an unnecessary throw. Trying to backdoor somebody at third base with 2 runners on. Airmailed it right into the dugout. The only error of the game was the most costly of the 6 total in the game. That was the only one the Mariners made, I should say. And, yeah, just too many mistakes not taken advantage of for the Mariners. They played a subpar game, I think it's fair to say. Ryan DeSanto looked excellent on the mound, and so did Jack Bowery in relief. But it was the window of chances that Falmouth had that they took advantage of that the Harwich Mariners could not.
1 run in the first, 2 in the fourth for Harwich. 3 runs, 7 hits, 1 error. 2 in the 5th, 2 in the 6th for Falmouth. 4 runs, 4 hits, 5 errors. The win goes to Francis Ferguson, who suffered a blown save last time he faced Harwich. This time, after going 3 innings, gets the win. Danny Macchiarola in his return to White House Field. Same result as the last. He gets the loss. And the save goes to Gavin Wilhelm, who has now made 2 appearances for the Commodores, both in saves. 7 hits and 6 walks in the inning. But like you mentioned, Carson, really strong outing from both Ryan DeSanto and Jack Bowery.
And if this ends up being the final outing in a Mariners uniform for Ryan DeSanto this year, I think the team's going to regret that they didn't take more advantage of it. He was unflappable, probably the quickest for 2 innings pitch we've seen from any arm this year. I think a total of 12 pitches across the first 2 frames. And then although he was looking a little bit flappable in the 3rd inning of work, he looked fantastic and ended, and if that is the end of his year, that was a very strong finish indeed.
And it's impossible to ignore that sequence in the 9th inning. Ryan Weingartner and Cam Maldonado back-to-back singles. So Harwich had men on first and second, 1 out. And the game-ending sequence, Cade Curlin a line drive right at third. Another solid play from Trent Caraway. And Weingartner had come too far off the bag, got doubled up, and unfortunately for the Mariners, it's not the first time that we've seen that this year from their shortstop.
Yeah, too many, coaches will say at any level that the physical errors will happen, but the mental errors kill you, inside and out, on the field and off the field. And Weingartner, his inexperience showing, I think, over the past couple of weeks of baseball. No coincidence that he, one of their marquee producers, has struggled and the team has followed suit. Just 2 wins in this month of July. And with Orleans' victory over YD 8-1, they're now just a game ahead of the Firebirds and very close to losing their spot in the playoffs.
Firebirds starting to heat up just a little. Mariners kind of on the opposite end of the spectrum. Season isn't over just yet, not at all. Harwich heads on the road to take on Hyannis tomorrow, a team